All right, last time.
Yes, Henry.
What happened last
Regale
time?
us.
Oh, we
Regale
went on a
us.
ship, and then we made it to Baldur's Gate, where the title dropped.
Yeah.
Well,
The Eye of the Beholder,
you
of
a
course.
couple of other things. Uh, there too. You met up with the Order of the Gauntlet contact who ran an equipment shop for equipping caravans and whatnot, as well as did some investigating around the town to learn about the Zentarum
Oh yeah.
and just kind of learned a little bit about the city of Baldur's Gate and its districts.
Didn't Gedwin get mugged?
He did not. That did not end up happening.
Oh, okay.
He had a weird stalker elf who kept him safe.
Totally on purpose.
Lovely.
All right. So, right when we last left off, the Cult of the Drain had purchased some equipment from Akin Celebon's shop because they were planning to join the caravan heading to Waterdeep, of which you as a group have been tasked with joining. So as you can keep an eye on the Cult of the Dragon and where exactly they're going and what their plans are. One of the small children that uh, Gedwin, Gedwin had hired to, well, given some coin to keep an eye out for them, mentioned that there was someone named Resmir in the Palaquin that was unsuccessfully stealthed towards to try and get a sneaky peek at. But if nothing else, this confirms that the cult are indeed joining the caravan to Waterdeep and that their leader Resmir is among their numbers. The cult has just finished their purchasing and left Akin's shop without causing a scene and is still in the morning. What would you like to do?
Oh, I have one more thing. Bravon's got to say his theme song. Or John.
Oh, you're right. You're
Oh
right.
no.
It's important.
Is it though?
It is. Let me. Wow, that sounded violent.
My God.
That's surly extra citra.
I wrote this down. Did I not? Did I not? There it is. Gilded gift of glitter gold, great grinning god of yore. Grant good luck to young and old. Glean gold and gain galore. And then I roll a d20, correct?
Correct.
Oh no.
You got a 1, which you
Heck.
can now apply to any roll.
That could be fun.
I think there's potential.
You might shoot the dwarf again. This is good.
I think I can use it on enemies, right? Or is that
You
not
can you can use it on any dice roll.
That's right. Okay. Cool. I, Capel Shortsword, will be the hero and beat the main villain. Oh, I don't think so.
I'll roll a 1 on my own, thank you very much.
Oh boy. All right.
So now it's out of the way.
We're,
I mean,
Didn't I try to follow them?
I think you were going to, and then we
You
stopped.
did, but you failed.
Going to, and then we stopped.
You failed your perception check.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought the
okay.
perception check was just to see what was in the palanquin, or however you say it.
Yeah.
You did.
And then the kids said who was in there anyway. We could still follow them, or we could have Ravon follow them and split the party.
Yeah.
Ravon could
You
follow
know.
them alone if he wanted.
I don't think I don't know. Might not be such a great idea.
We know
You
we're
do
going to
know
meet up
where
with them
they're
at the cavern,
Going to be.
That's true.
which we need to actually get involved in ourselves. We need to find a contact.
And from what Ravon knows of Baldur's Gate, starting an altercation within the city is a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just find a contact for now. That's probably a better idea. We'll meet up with them eventually anyway.
We had a bunch of merchant names last time, I think. Should probably follow one of those.
You do have some merchant names. The Ravon learned from the captain of the
Oh no!
ship that you guys took to get here that there was a half-elf beer and ale merchant named Bade Sekpol who would be traveling on that caravan. The captain, would run beer up and down the river for him. And you learned about another merchant named Acrony Yolitin, who is smelly and vulgar, but is reportedly quite good at what he does.
There's no need to decide on one right now. We can kind of shop around, see what prices we can get, or who needs bodyguards. Just pick one and start with it.
Yeah. If you guys want to roll an investigation check and ask around the Blackgate district, you're welcome to do that. Akin also has a couple of people that he have come to him already to purchase supplies, and he can recommend them to you as well to go check out.
Man, good thing Capel's really good at investigation. Otherwise, these rolls would be oh boy, I can't win.
Put my shit up.
+1 to investigation.
I've got 2 characters and I can't win.
He'll come in clutch later.
I have.
All right.
Hooray!
We got a 9, 15, and 13.
iPod.
You know he's not
Okie dokie.
doing Discord on his phone or on his computer. That'd be too easy.
I was gonna say, wait, what the fuck? Why?
He's 700 years old. He doesn't know how to use a touchscreen phone, even though it's the same thing as his iPod.
Yeah, well, right. It's more complicated to use more complicated to use that than to just be in Roll20 and Discord on the computer.
All right, so I'll start with Ravon, and then I'll go down to Corden, and then Capel as we do this. And when Paul returns, we'll figure out what's going to happen with Gedwin. All right, so Ravon, because you already have the name of Bade Sekpol, and it doesn't take you too long asking around to find this guy. He's a little shorter than you, and he looks like he's been drinking a bit too much of his own merchandise when you encounter him, because he is unshaven, but he seems pretty jovial. Definitely leans a bit more into the human side of his heritage than the elven side, but he still does have the distinctive pointy elven ears. And when you ask him about joining the caravan, he'll say, I have been looking for someone to maybe help me keep an eye on my supply. And he'll put an arm around you and bring you in and for a conspirational whisper. You see, it's not so much that I sell this beer and ale in Waterdeep. It's that all these other jokers that I'm traveling with, they're gonna buy it from me just to keep their spirits up on the road. And then any leftover stuff I sell on when I come on the way back. So it's a win-win. Always profitable journey there, always profitable back. And if I come back here and ain't all sold, well, it's a little bit more for me and anyone who's working for me is, and he'll elbow you on the ribs. And this is good stuff. Good stuff. Half elf brewed ale. Good stuff.
Are you usually in any danger of getting robbed in a caravan?
There's always a risk for that because I am selling my goods on the road. I do tend to accumulate more money sooner than everyone else, so that does make me a target for unsavory folk. And I am certainly looking for someone who could keep me and my money safe. John, roll a 1d20.
Ooh. Not bad. 18.
All right. He'll look you up and down. He'll note that you do seem to be battle trained, that you do have this nicer studded leather armor now. You do have this nicely crafted bow with you.
I don't even have studded leather anymore. I have breastplate.
Oh, it's right. You upgraded.
I did.
Yeah, so you are very well equipped, and he will offer to hire you on as a bodyguard at the rate of 10 gold pieces per 10 days, plus food and living expenses on the road.
Ooh.
And this is expected to be a multi-month journey, so you'll be making at the end of this around 300 plus gold.
Okay. This is much better than paying to go with.
Yeah, is this is everyone else here with me, or are we separately doing our own investigations on different leads?
You are currently doing your own investigations,
Okay.
But I will detail to you right now this will be for all of you, the different positions that you can be hired for as for these caravans. You can be hired as a basic guard. You get 5 gold pieces per 10 day, and that covers your food and living expenses as well. You can be hired as a sergeant for 8 gold pieces per 10 day. In that instance, you won't be hired by an individual merchant, but you might be hired by like the head of the caravan to just kind of keep an eye on the whole thing to make sure everyone's orderly. Or you can be hired as a bodyguard, which it pays the highest wages, but on the road you are expected to stick close to your employer and specifically protect him or her against harm. If you are a sergeant, you would be expected to manage 2 to 5 other guards under you while on the road and keep them in order. And as
Looks
a
like
basic
you
guard,
rolled the bodyguard one.
Yeah.
Your
old bodyguard. So he will make you that offer if you are interested.
May I consult with the rest of my party before I make such a decision on my own?
He'll grin and say, certainly. I would not begrudge you wanting to take some time before making such a decision. Bodyguard carries a lot of responsibility.
Thank you. I will return within the day with my answer. And then I will go off and look for the others.
All right. We'll go down to Corden. So, Corden, you go hunting around. You ask Akin for a bit of a recommendation for you to go to, and he will recommend that you look up Lai Anguston, who is a male dwarf merchant.
You said Fly Angus.
Lai Anguston. I'll type that out since that name is a bit of a paradox.
It's a bit of a palindrome, if you will.
Yeah. He is specifically a gold dwarf, also known as a hill dwarf. They come from the Great Rift, and they are known to have a deep racial animus towards aberrations from the Underdark.
Don't let him see my bow.
You cheeky get.
They tend to be less gruff and off-putting than shield dwarves.
Okay. Ugh. Friggin' P key is really busted now. There's like a
Oh
whole
no.
bunch of keys that doesn't work.
Keyboard upgrade probably soon.
I would recommend not smacking your P.
That's right. Don't smack your pee in the bathroom. That's not gonna end well for anyone.
Actually, I do have my old Razer Black Widow Ultimate keyboard. It's in fantastic condition. It's a little dirty, but I mean, it's still pretty clean for the most part. If you
take
want,
it.
I can send it to you.
Maybe
It is
Just
a,
like
It is a tactile keyboard, so it's clicky. But I am definitely willing to send it to you if you want it. Free of
I'll
charge.
let you know. I'll let you know. It's because like off and on this happen, and like sometimes it comes back, and I don't know if maybe I just need to like maybe if I restart the computer and let it sit for a little, that would fix it or not. But
Entirely possible.
I don't know why you aren't using it, John. If you had like 2 keyboards set up, you could be a super hacker.
Oh no, I could be like that episode of NCIS with them both using one keyboard.
Well, they're both
except
on one
it's
keyboard.
just
This is
me
one person with 2
using
keyboards.
two keyboards. Exactly. Yeah,
That's much stronger.
it's big dick energy. That's for sure.
this is interesting. Okay, new development.
Yes.
I can't type P on its own, but if I hold down P, the O key, and what the fuck? I just fixed it. Oh, what is going on? Okay, so
I'm just curious. Why are you typing?
me, because I'm fucking around with the keys. So before what was happening is that if I hit like OP and PO, or like if I hit O and rapidly rolled to P, it would type OP.
Oh.
And then I just started doing that a bunch. And it's what I was doing was I was holding P and I could hit O and it would cause the OP to spell out. And I don't know what it's called again. Fuck.
Well, thankfully, you don't need to type to roll anything.
The fuck is just literally just working.
All right. So after doing some asking around, you do find Lai Anguston. He's in a small pavilion type tent when you find him. He has 2 human guards at the front of the tent to wave you in when you make note of what your business is with him. And when you enter, you notice that he has a little monocle lens that he has over an eye that he is using to carefully separate his gold pieces, silver pieces, copper pieces, and platinum pieces into clear and distinct and properly organized piles. And when he sees you enter, he'll put down his glass and stand up from his seat. He'll say, "What does such a fine dwarf such as yourself have business with me for?"
I'll be quite honest, I was like not paying attention and kind of forgot my specific task of going to find him here. We're trying to find merchants to join their caravan, correct?
Yep, to hire you on as guards or for other matters.
Okay. All right. Well, me and my comrades are looking to join a caravan, and it's my understanding that as a traveler and merchant, you might be in need of some protecting. We're seasoned fighters, and we're more than willing to come on as a hired arm. My accent's all over the place tonight.
He'll give you a look over, and he'll recognize your regalia as that of Torm, and say, "Oh, faithful of Torm. Yes, they are always quite studious and do their jobs quite well. I'll have you know What was your name?
Gordon.
I'll have you know, Mr. Gordon, that I have quite a bit of money, and I have noticed that others are quite envious of the amount of money I have. And I intend to keep my money when on the road. So that will be your main task. It will be to preserve me and my money. And of course, you would also have an interest in preserving those two things as well, because if I am dead, then you do not get paid. And if you do not get paid, then you do not get my money, and it will remain my money, and I will take it with me to the grave. Is that clear, Mr. Corden?
I do suppose that's a fair trade. It wouldn't be much. Really be doing our jobs if you
I feel
killed
like he might be a little wrong on some of that, but
uh,
Of course, if you'd see this journey the whole way through, there is a big bonus for anyone working for me, for I am not just carrying my money, I am also carrying wonderful scented cooking oils and perfumes from the lands of Am, and I will sell them to those prissy dandies in Waterdeep, and for quite a sum, and that is how I make my money. It is important that that merchandise as well makes it safely to Waterdeep. But if you have to choose between any of those, this is the order in which they are to be protected. Number 1, me. Number 2, my money. Number 3, the merchandise. Is that clear?
aye, that would be certainly a fair list of priorities there.
And you as hired help are, of course, number 4. Lowest priority for safety. Corden, roll a 1d20.
Okay. Oh, son of a bitch. Oops. God damn. Oh. No, that's working.
Did your D key break?
No, just
Oh no.
Don't slap your D either.
uh,
If you're having issues typing in the command, on the left there's the dice roll d20 clicker that you can click for rolling.
oh sure, yeah. Well, let's see. Oh! Oh wait. Why don't I? That's okay. I'm not sure what was.
does he get advantage?
He
Take the first
does not
one.
get advantage. He has to take the first one.
But he's a dwarf talking to a dwarf.
Oh, that's right. He is a dwarf talking to a dwarf. He does get advantage
No.
on this. So, I think you look quite capable, Mr. Corden. I would like to take you on as my personal bodyguard, where you would attend to me and myself during this escapade. You would be paid 10 gold pieces per 10 day, culminating in over 300 gold pieces in your pocket at the end of this trip. Not to mention any bonuses at the end.
Now that does make the offer quite a bit more intriguing.
You guys are both getting really enticing sounding jobs.
And though
Yeah.
it does pain me to spend any extra, of course, as my personal bodyguard, your living expenses and your food would be covered as well.
I find that your offer is a hard one to refuse, but of course, unfortunately, it's not just up to me. I'll have to go talk to my companions, but I'll have your answer within the day.
He looks a little irritated by that, but he'll say, time is money, as any good dwarf knows. I do expect an answer on the morrow.
We are a package deal, so it'll have to be down to all of us.
I don't know if we have to be, actually.
That's true too.
All right. So Corden has made a connection with Lai Anguston, the miserly dwarf merchant. And we'll move on to Capel, who did not do so well in his
I
investigation.
really wish I was Sven right now. I could have so much fun.
With that 9, it takes you a little bit more time. You do ask Akin, but he says that he doesn't really know any other merchants other than what he's already recommended to the more investigative Ravon and Corden. But he does know a couple of halfling teamsters that you could talk to, and maybe you could join their company as a general guard for the caravan.
I'll think I'll talk to them.
He says there are two. There's Enam Toban, and Losvius Longnose.
Oh my. Well, let's talk to Levius Longnose, because that name is killer.
All right. So you do a little bit of asking around, and you do find Losvius Longnose, whose nose, upon meeting him, is indeed respectably large, even for a halfling. He'll look up at you, and he really does have to look up with your height, and say, "Oh, what you want?"
Oh, if I was Sven, I'd make a comment about the last name, but, Hi, me and my group. We're a bunch of hardy adventurers.
Oh, you're a group.
Mercenaries, yeah.
Oh, mercenaries. Oh, well, they're always useful around here. Well,
Absolutely.
what are some mercenaries coming to me for?
Well, we're looking for work on the caravan coming up. The big trip.
The long route to Waterdeep, I believe it is. Yes, I'm a teamster. I'll be managing some of the horses and mules and pack animals on that trip. Are you a horse? You mule? Perhaps you're a donkey,
Well, I'm a warrior.
a warrior. Well, I can always use a couple of warriors to keep in line. Some of the animals can get rowdy if there's trouble on the road, and just having an extra body on there to make sure they're in check is always useful. But I want to make sure that you're a capable man. You never know who's capable, who isn't. You got some people who run off on you, and some people who don't stick around. And I'm always kind of curious, why I ain't sticking around. But what can you do? They're gone. They're gone. So I want to see what you can do. I got these couple of sacks of hay over there. I used to feed the mules. Go see if you can lift those up. You can lift those up. I'll consider you for a position. Make a athletics check to lift up the pack animals.
I should have come as Sven. He would be so much better at this.
And if you don't make the check, see, I'll let my daddy know, all right? He's got connections, you see.
Dang it.
So what Capel does is he makes the very amateur mistake of lifting it from the top when he should be lifting it from the bottom.
He doesn't use his legs.
And
He's
the
using his
whole
back.
thing he just uses his back. His back gives out. The whole thing just drops out like there's a break in the seam at the bottom of the bag, and it all falls out on the floor. Losvius Longnose just shakes his head and says, "I ain't got no use for you. You look like you got a good story about you, and maybe you're a good kid, but I can't have people that are useless on the road. Get out of here," and he'll shoo you off.
John, do you remember that training picture at Macy's where there's like the guy trying to lift this tiny box and he's just got
Yes.
this horrible face on him, like it just like
He's horribly pained to lift up this small 6-inch box. Oh, I love that picture.
that's Capel right now.
Oh boy.
All right. You have one other name on your list, Enam Toban, another halfling teamster.
Shoot.
Is Gedwin alive? Can he speak to this halfling?
He will get to roll his own investigation check for finding his own merchant later.
Bathroom, I'll get back to you guys.
Oh,
with
you're
it.
back actually.
Oh.
Unexpected. All right, yeah. Let's find out what this other guy. Blanking on the name already.
Enam Toban.
Very good.
Right. Ingmar
right.
Bergman.
I'll show up
So
to him,
you-
kind of the same
It's
thing.
not, yep, it's not too bad finding him. This guy is clearly a lot older than Losvius Longnose was. He's got some wrinkles on his face, and he's got a bit of a gray beard going on, which is pretty impressive for a halfling, which are not known for their facial hair. And when you greet him, it's like, oh, I've been driving wagons across the water, eating back for over 40 years. You seem like a strong young feller, but you have to be gentle with the horses. You gotta know how to cool them and soothe them. You can't go around beating them with the switch. Then they don't respect you or listen to you. You gotta find a way to calm them down. Look over there at little Betty. Little Betty's been a little picky since a little bit of mold got in her oat feed. You go over there and calm her down a bit. You get her calm, and I'll take you on. Make an animal handling check to calm down little
boy.
Betty.
Something else Sven is really, really good at. I miss him.
Hey, not bad.
I rolled above a 5.
So, unfortunately, it becomes pretty clear that you don't have a bad manner. Capel is a gentle soul. He does his best, but
Oh, he's not good with animals.
clear-
That's one of his
no,
things.
he clearly doesn't know how to treat animals right. So you go over to the animal. You yank on its hair when you don't mean to. You
Can
try
I
to give
get
it
a
an apple by shoving it in its nose. And unfortunately, when you bend over to grab some hay, it kicks you in the butt and you fall in the mud. And this just makes Mr. Tobun shake his head. I'm sorry, laddie, but you ain't got the touch. And on a long trip like this, you need people with the touch. If they mishandle the animals, then that's food lost, people lost, and money lost. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to show you the door. And he'll give you a gold piece for your trouble and send you on your way.
Well, I'll add that to my
can I
inventory.
get a Capel making a cooing sound for my own purposes? Dang it, mother, stop texting me.
All right. So unfortunately, Capel was unsuccessful on this day with finding someone. Do we have Gedwin around to make an investigation check?
Still in the bathroom.
All right.
Could you please roll for me? Do I have to tell you the kind of person I'm looking for?
Nope. You'll just make a general investigation check, and we'll pull from a pool based on that roll.
All right. Please do the roll for me. You probably have access to my character sheet, I believe, right?
I do.
Just know that you might run into some very, very picky people.
Okay.
All right. Investigation gets a +3.
Very
so that's an
picky.
11.
They require you to be decent at the job you do.
They wanted Sven.
They wanted Sven and got Capel, and that is the biggest tragedy.
All right. So, Gedwin asks around for a name that he's already heard. Acrony Yelton. He is. You'll get a bit of information from him on Akin. He's an independent wagon master with 2 wagons in his caravan, which is a sign of a lot of wealth. Most are only able to take 1 wagon with them. He hauls cured furs and uncured hides, which are then turned into fine clothing for the people of Waterdeep. He does warn you that he is a bit boorish, piggish, misogynistic, and as far as you can aside from the fact that he speaks good common, would not seem to be have lived in civilization at any point in his life.
Oh, so he's like one of the poor people.
Right.
Look, Daddy, it's the poor people.
And you will also be warned that he's not necessarily an unfriendly person. He's just does not have any manners whatsoever.
Well, we're not like signing on to like join these guys and do quests for them. We're just bodyguarding, so
Yep,
I
basically.
can work for anybody.
All right, so you go off and following Akin's directions, you find where Akrony has set up his wagons for the time being while waiting for the caravan to set out. You find him rocking back and forth in some wicker rocking chair. Upon your first appraisal, you'll notice that he just reeks not of like booze or like food or anything, but of just pure unwashed body odor that just washes over you when you meet him.
Gross.
He's laughing about something when you encounter him, but he'll stop when you approach, and he'll say, "Oh, what's a prissy boy want with me?" Noting your finer clothing.
Well, you see, gentlemen, man, I represent a small band of mercenaries. We are traveling to Waterdeep, and we were hoping to find a caravan member who could make use of us on this trip.
Well, I do got my wagons that need protection from, the orcs and the goblins and all the elves and anything with sticky fingers. Halflings, they got sticky fingers. Gnomes, they got sticky fingers. All none of them any good.
Well, I happen to be able to inform you that there's no one in my group with the sticky fingers.
Happy to hear it. Happy to hear it. So, I do got 2 wagons. They both are going to need protecting. If I hire you on, you can't just focus on one wagon or another wagon. You got to keep your eyes on both wagons. Can't have you looking one way, then the other, and then whoops, there goes a wagon, and then you're in trouble, and I have to fire you.
This is obvious.
He'll look you up and down again, and say, and I will say it, you're a handsome man, and there are fair ladies that do travel on the caravan, and there is some romancing that does go on. But if you are with me and you romance any of the ladies, you gotta send them over to me. I get first pick of the ladies.
Where's Sven when you need him?
I use my
Sven's
hat
dibsing
to,
third.
cover my face, just pretending I'm fanning out my hat as I throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Well, as long as you're clear on that, we're in a good spot. You seem like a capable warrior, and you're good at playing that thing. And he'll note your instrument that you have with you.
Oh yes, this violin, or is it? No, I've got the cittern. This is a cittern passed down from several generations of musicians. I am the newest inheritor of it, and it will be very good for passing the time on the trip.
Oh yes, the road is long, and some good jokes to hear from your warbling would be good, and the ladies do like some good singing. Play me a tune. If your music sounds good, I'll take you on. Make a performance check.
Please make a performance check.
Will do. All right. You get a 14, which is good enough for this guy. You play a nice tune on your violin, nothing too complex, and he kind of just seems entranced by it. Like, his jaw drops. He starts to salivate or drool a little bit as he loses control of his mouth, and just kind of his eyes glaze over as he listens to the music you're able to play. And when you're done, he kind of goes, "Whoa, wow, that's some fancy playing. Must be a Waterdeep boy." Well,
I will speak with my compatriots and get back to you very, very soon.
If I take you on, I'm gonna need you to. I can't have you being a bodyguard because I got these 2 wagons. So I'd be willing to take you on as just a standard guard to keep an eye on the wagons and play some music for my team because I got my second hand driving the other wagon. I drive the first one, and I got my 2 working boys who keep the animals healthy. And you'll just be guarding all of us as is needed. I can only offer you 5 gold pieces per 10-day, but I'll cover your food and your living expenses while we're on the road.
This is a good deal. I will be back to let you know my decision very, very soon.
All right. Well, no hard feelings if it don't work out.
I think that's mutual.
All right. All right. So you guys have done some investigating today, and just asking around, finding these people, negotiating, will take up the most of the day. So it'll be evening by the time you all gather back at the Atkins Equipment Shop to talk about who you have found on that day.
Well, I found my beer merchant. Man will pay us 10 gold a 10-day. Seems like he enjoys his product a little too much, but should be fairly easy money. Also, the dwarf gets to drink as much as he wants.
That's certainly a positive. The dwarf that I talked to, he's a miserly sort. He deals in scented oils, selling to the poofs up there in what imagine lots of elves like to stink themselves up with that kind of garbage. And then and he offered me the bodyguard position. So that would be a bunch of extra gold. Plus, if we make it all the way there without getting anybody killed, only doing the killing, then he promised major bonuses as well. Everyone, so that is that. The only downside is that basically we are lowest on the totem pole in terms of what we keep alive and unharmed. So, not that that's any different from the way things normally are.
I found a pair of unagreeable halflings who I don't think we need to spend any time with.
What was unagreeable about them? They gave you a hard time?
They're everything, pretty much. Trust me, we're better not off in the company. These other jobs sound pretty good, though.
How about you, Bard? You find anything?
I found a boorish gentleman. Gentle is a lie, but he has good coin, and his job will be simple guard duty job of 2 caravans, not just 1, 2.
You also get second pick of the ladies.
And he is a boor, and if we work with him, do not talk to any of the women folk in front of him, because he will want you to get them to talk with him.
Sven is privately wondering why Gedwin would have consulted this guy about such private things.
He was an oversharer.
I said privately. Capel's thinking it in his head.
Okay, anyway, I think it was 5 gold pieces per 10 days.
For 10 days, I think.
Doesn't really sound worth
Whatever.
it to me.
What were some of the other wages that were offered?
10 gold, 10 days. I think was pretty much what everyone got.
We're going to be making a considerable sum each,
Yeah.
no matter which path we take. But I'm wondering how exclusive some of these jobs are. If they're going to want a whole party, if they're just going to want the one person to be a bodyguard.
Right. Well,
Akin will interject at this point, overhearing you talk about hiring yourselves out, and he'll suggest that it may be in your best considerations for you all to join as separate groups, because you were together at the Cult of the Dragon camp near Greenest when you went in, and it's much less likely for you to be recognized by them if you are in a separate instead of together as a group, as they'll be on the lookout for adventurers who escape their clutches.
good point. I agree.
I will go with this boorish knobhead, and he did not seem upset when I suggested bringing more people. So if anybody could not find any other employment, they are welcome to join me.
Interesting. I was about to levy the same offer to our human troubled by halflings.
I think I'll stick with Gedwin on this one. I'm worried for him.
For his moral fiber.
All right. If that is everything, tomorrow we will have Gedwin and Capel go back to Acrony to try and bring Capel in on the guardsmanship. If that sounds about right.
Do I have to play
Sounds
a
good to
crappy
me.
violin?
Who knows what you'll be asked to do? It'll be fun.
See, what other skills does Sven have? Let me take a guess at what it's going to be. So I've done animal handling, I've done athletics. Is it going to be a survival check?
The stand with him 5 feet of him for more than a minute. It could be. All right. So, is there anything else anyone wants to do before we move on to the next day?
I think we're pretty well settled.
I think I'll wander around and kind of look for shops, I guess.
All right. You will have absolutely no trouble finding any shop that you're looking for, unless it's something hyper specific like a prog rock record shop. You won't find that.
I guess like an oddities shop, like a magic oddities shop. Look around
Alright,
for one of those.
You are in the Blackgate district. A lot of stuff comes through here, so you don't have any difficulty finding a magical oddity shop.
Right.
This particular one is called Miss Plunkerhouse's Grand Curiosities.
That is quite the name. I'll walk in and kind of start looking around. I guess I'll specifically look for rings.
All right. You are in luck. This particular curio shop seems to specialize in curios designed for the ladies. It's a lot of rings, amulets,
Mm.
necklaces, jewelry, a lot of fanciful dresses and traveler's clothes, and things that seem to have the feminine touch. There are also a array of doilies behind a glass
Oh.
case that seem to have been stitched in the way of some strange markings, which you recognize as magical symbols from your in the Elvish language. There is an older woman who is in her middle ages, seated behind the counter, who is perusing a novel in the oil lamplight. She did not greet you when you entered.
Does she look grumpy, or just
No, she
engrossed
just
in her book?
She is engrossed in her book.
Okay. So is it just all? I suppose it. I don't know if it matters. Like, does equipment matter for male, female? Do they even have distinctions unless they're?
They don't have distinctions. The only one that matters is the one that changes your gender.
Okay. Yeah, I think. I'll just kind of take a look around at. Is anything in particular aside from the doilies catch my eye? Maybe with an investigation check.
You can roll investigation. Is there, I know you said you were looking for rings. Is there any specific anything you had in mind? Because there are a selection of rings,
like a ring of protection or something like that.
Yeah, you can look around for those. You don't have the slightest idea of what a ring of protection might look like, but
I don't know if that would be. I don't know if that would be metagaming to look specifically for that.
I mean, if you're thinking, I want a ring that can protect me,
yeah,
I don't think that's metagaming. You're level 5.
Okay.
You're pretty aware of magic, or 4 or whatever. You're pretty aware of magic items by this point and what they can do.
Okay. Yeah, then that's what I'm looking for.
All right.
Go.
I don't see investigation.
There we go.
Are you going to talk to the proprietor?
Sure. Yeah, I'll kind of walk up to her and go, "Excuse me, ma'am."
She'll quickly close her book and she'll look up at you, her face red. She's like, "Oh, I beg your pardon. I was so engrossed in Miss Nora Roberts' latest Harlequin. These do give me quite the vapors when I read them. So I apologize. What can I do you for, Mr. Gruffy?"
Right. Well, I was curious to see if you had any rings that could offer protection.
Why, yes, we do offer some rings to protect the discerning lady, or in your case, gentleman, unless there's something I'm not seeing here. Well, let me show you what we have on offer. This fine ring over here, in addition to this brilliant ruby stone, which accentuates the eyes, also protects you from fire. We have this one over here, the sapphire, that can just make, that I think would go quite well with your fine hair, if I do say so, make it pop. This one will protect you from the cold. And this one over here, she'll point to a pretty generic-looking silver ring. This ring is made from the finest Dwarven silver, and it may not be much to look at, but it offers you general protection of all sorts, from arrows or swords or I would say if you were a lady, but you ain't. But make a charisma check.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm really good at those. Uh,
From passable men such as yourself, it'll
oh.
protect you from the grabby hands of more adventurous men. That would be a ring of protection that you're looking for.
Hmm.
Of course, these are curiosities, and they do come and go at high value. So I'm afraid I would not be able to part with this for less than 3,500 gold pieces.
Oh boy.
It's not that bad.
The guys. It's not, but I don't have any. I don't have that kind of money.
Steal it. What?
You're reading my mind.
This is
Wait, no.
humanity.
I am chaotic good.
You
If it's-
can. That's
I don't know if you realize this, but my sleight of hand is +5.
Is there anything else I can help you with, sir?
Roll 1. Roll 1.
just a straight theme bitch.
I could definitely. Oh.
Wait, you could give her a 100 perception.
Yep.
Oh, you're horrible.
Would you like to try the ring on, sir?
Oh, I would love to.
Oh, let me get it out for you. She'll take a key from her petticoat and unlock the case and pull the ring out and slide it onto your finger. As it is a magic item, it will, once it's slid all the way back, it magically readjusts itself to fit perfectly on your hand. Why, I do say that is quite a good fit for you. We only have the best at Miss Plunkerhouse's Grand Curiosities.
I agree. Though unfortunately, I don't think this is quite in my price range right now. Though I am leaving on a caravan job and quite possibly could come back with the amount of money needed.
Yes, that would be quite fair. I will say, I'm afraid we do not take promises of post payment. We have had quite some bad experiences with that, so all payments must be made up front.
I quite understand. I would never suggest such a thing. But thank you for allowing me to try this on. And I
You
will
are quite welcome.
make a sleight of hand check to
Is that a blue dragon?
no, no, I will. I will. Let's see. Let me just check something quick.
You're going to do a sleight of hand check to produce some flowers from your coat, and then give them to the nice lady.
No, do I
To charm
let's
her.
See. Let's see. Is the case open?
The case is open still.
Okay.
The ring is still on your finger.
Right. Well, I will take the ring off, and then I'll kind of make a motion to put it back in its. Is it like a velvet cushion kind of thing?
It's
That was in-
very much like that to dress up the ring as much as possible.
Okay, and is it kind of like a normal ring case where you can kind of actually this ring is just basically just a plain silver band?
It looks pretty generic.
Okay. I have ball bearings. I
You
could
do.
take a ball bearing, substitute it for the ring, and just kind of stick that in the slot there. And I will look back at her and kind of grab her hand and say, I very much appreciate you showing me this. I'm very sorry to have disturbed you from your book. And I will now make a sleight of hand check. Oh,
You successfully make the switch,
Heck yeah.
and she will make a perception check to spot that. Will you be using your 1 on her?
That's a pretty dang good roll. Oh, man.
You can also wait. You will not be able to know what her perception check is, so that will be a private GM roll.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use it. Better safe than sorry.
All right, so you make the switch. You grab her hand. She seems quite surprised by the rough feel of the hand, much like the handsome orc gentleman she's reading about in her book. but she looks to make sure that the ring was put safely back. But then, like, a magical golden dust kind of like flittles in front of her eyes, and she kind of looks dazed for a moment, and she looks back at you and says, "Wow, I was happy to help." And she'll lock the case back up and rush back to her novel. "Please let me know if there's anything else you need."
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And I will leave.
All right, you have a ring of protection +1. Who
Heck
knows
yeah.
how long until she notices it's actually missing.
Can I
Yeah.
pull up Paul right now when Willie was killed and just be like, "Oh, that's an interesting ring you got. You didn't have the money for that." I know what you did.
I still hate
So, ring of protection. If you'll probably take the lens to it later, so I'll just tell you what it does now.
Okay.
It gives you a +1 bonus to your AC and your saving throws, but it
Heck yeah.
requires attunement. So you need a short rest to attune to it, and it will take up one of your 3 attunement slots. And I think your Bow of the Spider does that as well.
Yes.
So you can only attune to 1 more magic item before you have to swap one out.
Okay. Where are my attunement slots on here? Do we even have any? Not on there, I don't think. Oh, well. Okay.
You will notice that when you attune to it, a small shield will pop out on the top of the ring where maybe a jewel would have been inset.
Okay. Very cool. Can I ask? Did you make a roll before I used my 1 on her
I did.
perception?
She has advantage while in her shop,
Oh.
and she would have noticed it, which is why she was going to go look at the
Oh
ring
boy.
to make sure it was still there.
Oh boy.
You got to dodge a potential encounter with the.
Sir, the
Baldur's
flaming
Gate.
fist.
Yep, you got to miss an encounter with the Flaming Fist, which may have gotten you killed or put in jail. So
Oh, easily. Heck yeah. Woo!
You'll get no sympathy from
stuff.
your party members.
Not that they would know.
for all you know, it's a cheap trinket you bought. Who knows?
Yeah.
Is there anything else anyone wants to do? Otherwise, we're over to day 2.
I can't think of anything.
All right.
I have
I
no
think Gordon
money,
said he
so I'm
was
not
done.
going to go shopping.
All right. I don't think Cadavan wanted to do anything either, so we'll roll over to day 2. I assume that Ravon and yes.
So, I also have a Cloak of Resistance +1. Would that
I'll check
that
if that needs attunement. I don't recall if it did. Then you will need to.
Well, I would still be able to wear the ring, but
It does require attunement.
okay. So I have no slots left then. Okay.
Yep. So basically you just swap out a worse magic item when you get a better one,
Yeah.
and your next magic item might be a better bow, and that would be pretty easy.
Yeah.
All right. I assume on the next day, Corden and Ravon will go to their respective merchants and confirm their appointments.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Uh,
That's
You'll be told that the caravan's expected to roll out in 3 days, and to meet them at their respective temporary setups promptly in the morning on those days to start your assignments. And Capel will be going with Gedwin back to meet Acrony.
Yes.
All right.
Should he not be mangled in some way that would alter his personality?
Oh, certainly not.
It would be terrible.
I hit Capella on the head with the stolen ring.
How do you know it's stolen? Huh? Huh? How did you know I killed Willie? There's no proof.
All right. So we go back, and this time, when you meet Acrony, you find him trying to wrestle a greased pig in a mud pit, while
Ew.
two of his staff members stand to the side, looking somewhat embarrassed. He'll look up at you. His face comes like, "I'm having great fun down here. Who's this pretty boy you brought back with you? Is that your boyfriend?
Capel's gonna
Won't
get
be
his
getting
head
any
hit right
ladies
now,
if
isn't
he's
he?
around with you.
This is
More ladies for
one
me
of
that way."
one of the mercenaries from my group.
Oh, he's a co-worker, not a boyfriend. I apologize. I did not mean to impinge. This does still mean that my rules regarding the ladies will continue to apply on our travel.
Whatever you say.
You want him to come with?
Yes, that was my intention. He is a warrior, a warrior of finesse and skill and tact. He will be of great use to you as a guard.
The pig will go "Oil, squeal," as he tackles it to the mud. He's like, I wrestled the piggy," and he'll look up at Capel. He'll look at the pig. He'll look at Capel. He'll look at the pig. I don't doubt your recommendation, but
Whoops.
I will only take him on if he can wrestle this here mud pig.
Oh no!
If he can catch him, then I will give him a chance on my wagon, and you'll both come on as my gods.
I am
He'll
learning
stand up,
these.
slap the pig on the butt, and he'll go squealing around the mud pit. Capel, you can make an athletics or acrobatics check.
I'm learning all kinds of the new things about how the world outside of Waterdeep
Oh, there we
operates
go.
with finding jobs.
Yeah, you won't see this sort of good sporting in Waterdeep. They don't know how to have good fun up there.
Capel hesitates at first, but when he learns this might be his last chance to get a job, he rolls up his sleeves, goes after the pig.
Acrony is mighty impressed by how you firmly wrestle the pig and get in full Nelson wrestling hold. And he'll say, "Wow, you really know how to wrestle these pigs. I thought you seemed a bit too handsome and upstanding to get
And, like,
yourself
6'5".
down and dirty, but sometimes getting down dirty is what you need to protect the wagon properly and what you need to make a good business deal. You know, you can't always be unafraid of getting down in the mud with the pigs and not chewing hay with the farmer."
Oh, that sounds smart and all there, sir, but I get the feeling you just wanted to see me wrestle this pig.
Well, that was part of it too, but your willingness to take orders from your boss was also appreciated. I'll have you on. Capel, roll 1d20.
Oh boy, I'm good at that.
I'll have you as my personal bodyguard. No offense, Mr. Gedwin, but that was some fine pig wrestling. you'll be paid 10 gold pieces per day, and you get to sit up next to me on my wagon and hear me talk about my business, learn a bit about the trade.
This is gonna go so well.
I'm
love it.
just in stunned silence.
Oh boy.
I know you. I'm sorry, Mr. Gedwin, but you're gonna be you're just gonna have to be a basic guard walking along the wagon, keeping an eye out for beasties. I wish I could offer you a spot up next to me on the wagon too to learn about life, but it's gonna go to Mr. Capel Shortsword.
See, I'm learning, or I'm getting all these amazing dice rolls right now, right? And then I'm remembering that in my character flaws, I have unlucky. Capel Short Sword is unlucky.
All right. Well, say it with me again. Everyone wants to get down and love the pig, not chew hay off the farmer. Welcome aboard. I'll see you guys here in 3 days to start our journey.
I'm looking forward to it.
As am I. I'm ready to give you a good learning.
This guy is like just mentally being added as just an example to exemplify Gedwin's like, theory that nobility are just superior to people like this.
But he has money.
Yes, but he doesn't have status.
That's true.
He clearly does not. So this is actively harming Gedwin's character arc. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So on the NPCs part of the D&D table, I'll make a note of all of these merchants that have hired you and their names, and I'll also write up a short summary about each of them to kind of so you guys can kind of keep it straight, since this is a lot of NPCs being introduced in a short time, and you're going to be with them for a while.
Excellent. I mean, it's actually really helpful.
Yeah.
My note-taking's been really terrible lately.
I mean, that is why we have the tavern,
That's why it's there.
or not the tavern. I suppose it would be the tavern.
So the next couple
Characters,
days will pass without incident, unless there's something specific you guys would like to do in Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
Or Waterdeep, Baldur's Gate. You'll be in Waterdeep eventually,
Okay.
unless something happens on the road.
Oh, I highly doubt something will happen.
I think Capel has seen enough suffering in his 2 days that he just wants to sit back and read.
No, I think the only thing that'll really happen with Ruan is that he'll attune to his new ring, and
You would have already done that
I suppose, yeah. Oh yeah, this is
after you stole yesterday.
yeah.
So Ravan's going to lay low until the caravan leaves?
Oh yeah. I just pulled off a grand heist.
I'm going to.
She did only call me passable too, so that is a great insult, and I will.
Your
I will
charisma
not
is not
be.
high.
I can't imagine why. This will definitely help the Harpers. I have my mission.
Yeah, Corden is going to. Just generally.
Corden is also going to steal a ring of protection.
Most certainly I'm not. I'm lawful good, you fucking thief. You better not. Better not find all that shit. Beat your ass.
Oh, I'm no thief. I'm a good guy.
You're an elf. You're terrible.
I'm just waiting, Seth, for your. I'm waiting for your god to show up
Racist.
and start forcing you to kill party members like Paul's did.
No.
Good old Cuthbert.
Torm is.
Torm
Rest
talks
in
to you through the helmet. Your party member has stolen.
I
Dole out.
enjoyed that part of that campaign.
Dole out justice. Oh man. Rest in
Torm
peace,
is going to
Drake.
spend his.
And Willie.
Torm is going to, or Gordon's going to spend time drinking and praying to Torm.
Yeah. Me too, man. Quarantine, am I right?
It's essentially that's praying twice, isn't it?
Basically.
Yep.
What was that trashy novel that clerk was reading? Because Capel checked that out.
The trashy novel she was reading was the latest Nora Elf Roberts book called the Half Orc and the Elf Maiden.
From sheer coincidence, let's assume Capel's reading that too.
Sure. It's a Harlequin romance novel. It's very raunchy, very graphic, and there are betrayals, there are romances. There's a particularly interesting line where the elven maiden says to the half orc, "You told me you were half orc, but that thing looks like it's full orc to me." So, that's the kind of content you can expect.
Quality reading material.
Fully orc wrecked.
Jeez.
All right. Well, if the 3 days pass without incident, Akin will meet with you early in the morning before you go to your different charges and wish you all good luck. And in addition, he will pass each of you a small pouch that contains
Weed.
not weed, although that would make you quite a bit of money on the trail. A small pouch, each containing a small silver gauntlet. And he says that if you encounter trouble with the guards in Waterdeep for any reason when you get there, show that to them, and they will give you some deference with your activities. The guards in Waterdeep aren't quite as harsh as the ones here in Baldur's Gate.
Great.
Right. All right. So are we all ready?
I think everyone
I certainly am.
is ready.
So now we're in a bunch of wagons in the same kind of trip, right? So we're all going to be sort of by each other, but we're going to be stuck by our individual charges.
You'll be all together. You'll be stuck with your individual charges. Think of it like an Oregon Trail type thing, where you're with a wagon train, and at night all the wagons will kind of circle up, and everyone will kind of have a communal meal for protection at night.
And Paul's going to eat it from like gonorrhea or something.
Yep, there's a
thing.
chance of dysentery. There is actually a disease table if you guys don't take care of yourselves on here, so that'll be fun.
But there's no reason for that because we're getting paid to take care of it. So we're getting food and whatever paid for. Nothing could go wrong on this trip.
Nothing at all. I predict only happiness.
I think actually somehow Gedwin's got the most freedom on this little trip. He's just watching some carts. He's not sitting next to a stinky, smelly pig.
But I have to watch 2 whole carts. Not
All
just
right,
one,
so-
but 2.
Yeah, bodyguard is not. It's supposed to be the most difficult job to get, but you guys got pretty lucky with your D20 rolls. So I detailed the 3 merchants that hired you guys in the gallery chat on the Discord server. If you guys want to look that over. All right. Life on the road. So you guys meet up with your different charges. Corden will be given a couple of chests full of Anguston's money to load up onto the wagon, and he'll take care, and as well as helping to load up some of the oils. You'll notice, Corden, that Lai does not have any other guards or helpers with him, and if you happen to inquire about this, he'll simply say, "Well, I hired you for 10 gold pieces for 10 days. That's a lot of money coming out of my pocket, and I figure you can do the job of everyone for that price. So you're going to be my bodyguard and my handyman for this trip. But you're getting good meals, so I don't want to hear any complaints."
Even for a dwarf, this one's a pain in my ass.
The fact that you're a dwarf is half the reason I hired you. Because I know you're going to do good, honest work.
Oh, you're not wrong about that. I can only hope that whatever may come our way only comes 2 at a time. But whatever does appear, I'll make short work of it.
Yep, he has one covered wagon filled with his sales. He doesn't need as much space as maybe some other merchants due to the fact that the scented oils and perfumes that he sells come in small, fine bottles, although the wagon is stacked pretty tall with them. You'll be riding next to him on his wagon. Like you as a dwarf, he does not care for horses. Or riding them for that matter. And for Ravon, when you go talk to Bade, you notice that he's maybe already had a little bit of his beer in the morning. He'll be like, "Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you come around. Here, on the house for taking me for coming on as my bodyguard," and he'll give you a bottle of elven wine.
I need to stay sober if I'm going to watch you effectively. What's a bodyguard that's drunk, after all?
Well, I don't take any offense to that. It's a very responsible attitude, and he'll take the bottle back from you. I'll save this for me later.
Very well. I'm sure you deserve it. You must work very hard.
I do work very hard. It's work telling all these drinks across for everyone. If it weren't for me, no one would have a good time on the trail. And he'll get up onto the wagon, and he's got one covered wagon, but he has a couple in the back hitched to it. They're being pulled by what look like 2 pretty prime horses. I bought these 2 fresh. They should last us the whole journey. I ain't fed them yet this morning, but they'll tough it out. They can get fed tonight. And he'll have you get up and sit. He'll sit up on the wagon, but he'll have a separate horse for you to ride on, to ride alongside him. He has hired some other guards to keep an eye on the wagons he has in the back.
Okay.
And finally, for Capel and Gedwin, When you arrive, Acrony is standing around. It actually looks like he's taking some sort of charge. He's ordering around his laborers and his second hand in command. He's got 2 covered wagons that are going to be pulled separately. He will be pulling the front one, which is full of the
Sorry, what? You cut off
you
there at the
cut
end.
out.
Alex, we lose you?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did he died?
Probably. I mean, we can hear his iPod.
Rip.
He's not muted either. So, oh boy.
Goodbye. Well,
He's back.
I'm back.
Yay!
What got heard, what didn't get heard?
Like most of them didn't.
absolutely nothing.
Let's see. I believe we got as far as the
You're about to describe what's in the cart.
All right, so the front cart that's being pulled by Acrony with Capel at his side is the cured furs that are finished product, and the untanned hides are going to get pulled by his second hand, who is a female guard named Lita Widris. She will be in charge of Capel, the other guard he has hired, and his the 2 laborers that will be managing the goods. She'll apologize to Gedwin for her boss's behavior. Say, I know he's boorish and I don't appreciate his eyes at times, but for the most part, he's a good man, and he is honest in his business dealings, and he's honest in his dealings with his workers. So, he will stand up for you if something goes awry. He's just rough around the edges.
This is good. Personally, it is all fine with me. We are here with we have found a mutually beneficial arrangement for us being bodyguards and him paying us. So I have no other problems with him.
Capel's gonna chime in. He clearly must be a good person to get such high praise from someone like you.
Well, that is a very charming thing to say. So,
Capel can't help it. He's got 18.
She'll look shocked. She's like, well, I will say that you're the first compliment that I've gotten more compliments from you than I've gotten from Acrony.
Oh, I'm sure he just has a very subtle way of complimenting.
She shrugs. Oh, it could be that. I've spent many years in the South, and people are a bit more blunt down there, so I'm kind of used to how he is. He doesn't keep people on for long, just given his attitude towards things, but maybe I'm just used to it. And while you're talking to her, Capel, you'll hear shout, "Where's my bodyguard? Let's get this thing going. I want him right up here." And he'll slap the seat next to him on the wagon.
It was good talking to you. We'll see each other more, I'm sure, on this long trip. Capel steps away to the seat next to the pig.
All right. You sit next to him, and I want you to make a Constitution check, as he somehow smells even worse than he did the day you met
This
him.
could be it, guys. This could be it. Oh no.
All right, you're good. You hold back your breakfast as you seat yourself next to him, and he looks directly at you and breathes in your face, scratches his unkempt beard as bits of food and mud and pig grease fall out of it. Like, now, I had a bargain with Mr. Pretty Prissy Boy back there who's playing the music. It's that when it comes to the ladies, I get the first pick when they come around, even though you're going to be my bodyguard. Your job, if they come around, is I need you to make sure they don't got any of their womanly poisons on them. Because, I am a businessman, and that can lead some ladies to be fairly deceptive when they come to me, because I have had many ladies, but none don't want to stick around and be my wife. I don't know why. I'm polite and genius to them, but it's just tough. I think one of my wives even might have tried to poison me, so you're going to be frisking anyone who I'll be discussing with. You see?
Oh boy. Yes, boss. Absolutely. This is not going to go well.
And of course, I don't need to tell you this, but I heard that flowery language you were using on Lita back there. But no fraternizing with the help. They're here to do their jobs, not to have private times. Well, let's get it going. The wagon master is calling us to go, so let's set out. And with that, he'll slap the reins on the horses, and the big long wagon train will set out for Waterdeep. All three of you will hear the details of the trip from your respective charges, or all four of you, I should say. The trip from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep is a journey of 750 miles. These horse-drawn or mule-drawn freight wagons cover 50 miles per day, depending on the weather conditions. The animals need 1 day off after every 6 days of hauling to recover from their work. All things considered, the trip is expected to take 3 months.
Jesus.
That sounds about right.
And as you guys travel along the coast, you see that, or not along the coast, but with the train, just kind of keeping an eye out for things. You notice that the Cult of the Dragon has their own wagons traveling with it, as you expected. All in all, you see that they have 10 wagons that they are traveling with. And it seems like each wagon is assigned at least 2 to 3 guards. You're not entirely sure, as they're all in one section of the train together, but they seem like they're pretty full, and that they have a sizable contingent protecting whatever they are taking with them.
So we're vastly outnumbered, of course.
Mm-hmm. You also see a couple of wagons that are being driven that don't have goods, but instead have like a family or people inside, as there are those in there who want to relocate to Waterdeep or somewhere else on the north. There are some people, as the first week of travel goes on, you notice that as you get out from Baldur's Gate, some wagons in the train do peel off to go other ways, and sometimes you'll get independent travelers who will join up with the wagon for a day or two on their horses, and will then, independently peel off after just traveling with them for a night, for 1 day for safety. And as far as picking up occasional passengers for a day or two trip, uh, Eli Anguston will refuse to take any people onto his wagon, even though he does have some extra room to carry a passenger or two. Acrony is willing to take on Acrony and Bade, however, are more generous with their space and are willing to take on extra travelers when needed for an extra day or two and send them on their way just as a good time. And so Bade can pass around some drink, make a little bit of coin from them, and so Acrony can just kind of be himself around anyone he gets into contact with. And you'll notice that the cultists, even though they do have spare room on their wagons, rudely refuse anyone to get close to their wagons or board them.
Huh, bunch
So
of dicks.
lies on the same level as the villains. Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
And as far as you can tell, you know these people are the Cult of the Dragon from what their guards are wearing. But for the most part, the actual teamsters or wagon masters that are driving the wagons look like normal merchants.
Do we see anyone we recognize?
You don't see anyone that you recognize.
Okay. Did you say how do they kind of, as far as being in the caravan, do they kind of just keep away from everybody else, or do they try to kind of blend in a bit?
For the most part, it looks like the guards are pretty rude and gruff, and they don't allow anyone near their wagons. But during the communal evening time, for the most part, they get along well with everyone else.
Okay. Yeah, I
Maybe
suppose
they're-
that was more my. Yeah.
They come off as pretty off-putting
hmm
during the daytime, but they are more
They loosen up a
jovial
little
and-
more.
in the evening. Yeah.
Okay.
For the most part, the first week of traveling goes without issue. Since you're just starting out and you're still within a fair distance of Baldur's Gate. But that does not mean that something doesn't happen. All right.
It's Resmir.
You're all right.
I'm just waiting for a map switch to happen right now.
For a map switch to happen.
I don't
I
know.
was just guessing when was going to happen.
I like this
Uh,
meme.
On days, let's throw the halving. Yeah. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon. The wagon is plowing along fine. You're going through a bit of a foresty patch with some hills going around. There's a herd of deer spotted on a nearby hill. A couple of the wagon train is stopped a little earlier in the day than normal, and a couple people suggest that those deer look pretty tasty. Let's go eat them. We can use some fresh meat, and we can use it this early in the trip so we don't use up our preserved stores. And the hunting party for the caravan goes out to get the deer, but it isn't long before they come back with lights in their eyes, saying that there's a magnificent golden stag that just is in the center of the herd. It looks as though it's commanding the deer. Oh, that hide, that pelt, that would be worth something. And boy, those antlers were impressive like nothing I've ever seen. Looked like they were made of pure gold.
Hmm.
And then another will chime in, no, I think they're made of platinum. And they're all like, oh, platinum antlers. Wow. Lie Anguston will get a glint in his eye, and he'll turn to Corden and say, Corden, that sounds like a fine prize. That'd fetch me quite a price in the Waterdeep. I imagine that if I could bring the head of that creature to a noble in Waterdeep, I would make quite the pretty penny. I want you to go and get me that golden stag.
I'm just getting flashbacks right now. Once again, another reference. Hey, go check out these cows. The cows are chaos now.
There'll be a special bonus in it for you if you can capture that golden stag and bring it to me.
I suppose I can give it a try.
That's all I'm asking for.
Aye.
We're gonna gun it down, get close to it. It's gonna turn into a flesh-devouring ooze thing.
Yeah, almost certainly.
All right, and Acrony will ask Capel, Leda, and Gedwin to go get it, saying, "Golden hide? Well, if I can tan that, think of all them prissy fools in Waterdeep who are going to pay me bonuses. Plus, if I can just get the fine look at that golden pelt, perhaps I can make my own and pawn it off as the real thing. You boys, go on and get out there. Get me that golden deer."
Sir, that's fine and all that, but what about the protection of your caravan?
Well, all right, so I'm only sending 3 of you. I got my 3 laborers still, or my 2 laborers and 1 guard. Though he ain't worth anything. Larry, Mo, Curly, they can stay here and protect me.
No, if you insist.
It shall be done as you ask.
Capel's quite handy with a bow.
Wow. Okay. I turn to Bane. Bade?
Bade, B-E-Y-D.
And I go, do you also want this golden deer?
Not really,
Yeah.
but if you want to go hunt it, go for it.
He's the one wagon master that's not incompetent.
Yeah, and he's the drunk one.
I mean, we stopped for the day, and I got a couple other people to keep an eye on things. I know you're one of them ranger types, so if you want to go keep an eye on it, maybe to save the forest or whatever you do, you have my permission to take a leave for the day.
Thank you. Can I do a nature check on that golden stag?
You can.
Okay.
Maybe
Let's
once you
see if
see
I
it, it'll
can-
help more. But
Well, I mean, would it?
I mean, you can just roll a general nature check to see what you've heard about like golden or rare
Yeah.
animals in general.
platinum
You don't
antlers.
necessarily have to see it.
Yeah, because they sound like they're giving conflicting stories of what it sounds like. Did that go?
Yeah, it went.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's been a lag going on there. Okay.
Yep. So we're going to take your first roll there, the 2.
Yeah.
You've heard of things called like albino animals. This is probably something like that. It might just be like a rare breed or something.
Okay. But probably okay to kill, not like a deity that guards the
I'll be right
forest.
back, guys.
At least as far as I know. I'll join the hunt. Sounds like it might be challenging.
All right. So you guys all go out with the other hunters to chase down the golden stag. You normally some of you might be stealthy, but a couple of these people are literally just level 1 rangers, hunters. They see the
Bumbling
golden deer,
dopes.
they want to do it, so they're just gonna go, "Rah, let's get it," and it's all you can do to keep up with them.
Oh boy.
So
Yeah,
they
I
run
was
into-
I was going to try and stealth, but I don't think that'll be possible. It's
You could
like
trap
going
it with
out.
spider webs.
That was my plan. Yes.
What's my plan now? I'm gonna steal your bow like you stole.
Good luck.
I don't know.
Or you can do your thorn arrow thing and make thorns burst through the hide and make it worthless.
So the guys break out the clearing shooting arrows. They hit a couple of the deer, but they don't hit the stag, and the stag will and the
Bolts.
deer will all run off as a group, but the stag will split off in a separate direction
Oh,
and run into the forest.
okay. I'm going to track it,
That will be
and
survival. Anyone who wants to chase after the golden stag can roll a survival check.
that is my preferred terrain or my favorite terrain. So
Yep, so you have either advantage or a bonus. I don't remember which one.
I think it's advantage. Let me find the page I'm looking for.
Oh, Gedwin.
Well, freaking go to it. Why isn't it going?
Okay. Gedwin just pushes Ravon aside as he struggles with the interface and
Dang it.
says, I know where that deer's going.
And he might be right.
Get out of the way, tree hugger. This is how you kill a forest friend.
Jeez.
Mhm.
Hang
You
on.
chase after it for 500 yards, keeping it in view. Gedwin is pretty good about tracking it. But then it kind of makes a quick dart out of the forest and starts to run through some farmers' fields. And it's pretty hilly, so it weaves up and down through the hills. And you start to lose sight of it again. So you'll need to make another survival check.
Okay. Jeez.
Is Capel giving chase?
Oh no.
No.
The second he could stop, he stopped. He went back to the wagon.
All right. There are a couple of people who are sticking around to bring back the deer that they did shoot and bring them back to the caravan. Want to help them out?
Yeah, sure.
All right. You help them out, and one of the guys just kind of shakes his head as everyone else runs off after the golden stag, and says, "You know, I think that's just a blessed creature, and I've heard stories that if you kill those, you bring down the wrath of the forest, or you get cursed, or something. Boy, I hope those guys don't get it. Bring bad luck on us all."
Sometimes I wonder if that happened to me in a previous life.
You and me both, brother.
So how's the chase going?
Well, Ravon's survival is enough to keep on after it through the farmer's fields. It's trying to do something pretty clever by dipping in and out through the rolling hills, but you're able to keep a good beat on it. And it's not long before, after chasing it down a little farther, another 500 yards or so, it darts back into a deeper and thicker part of the forest off of the fields.
Okay.
And you'll quickly lose it in the trees, so you'll have to roll another survival check.
Okay. Oh boy.
Well, we'll need Gedwin or Corden to offer their insight for this one.
First survival.
Yep,
Survival.
you gotta roll another.
Yeah, I've got at the beginning of the chase, by the way, I would have cast what
Well,
is
this
it?
is
The
Okay.
I would have cast Longstrider, I think it is. Yeah,
Oh, that's a good one.
Longstrider.
Yeah,
Just gives me
fine.
5 feet extra move per turn.
Yeah, that'll help you keep up with it.
Yep, but then
Uh,
I'll do my roll for
Yep,
survival.
and Corden will need to do a survival check too.
If Ravon casts Goodberry, you could chase it even longer. Be well fed.
Stop it. You stop that now.
Could chase it for days.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh, ugly.
Wow.
Corden, roll survival.
Okay.
Don't screw up.
These other two are failing to track the deer.
You might succeed. That'll be really good. Killing this significant creature.
Aw.
Oof.
Wow, what a shame.
Unfortunately, it goes a bit too far deep into the woods. This is a deep and overgrown part of the forest, and it clearly knows the woods better than you do, and you don't get too far before you lose track of it.
Are they lost?
They are not lost. They know their way back. They
Okay.
didn't get too far into the forest before losing track of it.
I don't think I can lose my way in my favorite terrain.
That's right. You would have advantage, but
Yeah.
your advantage failed. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can't lose your way, but you can lose the stag.
But I can lose the app. um,
And you guys did do a lot better than the other hunters who were traveling, so you were way ahead of them. And unfortunately, they are unable to help you find it.
I'm sure Acrony's got a good. He's got good room in his carts for these deer carcasses, right?
I mean, you guys are circling up the wagons for the night already, so they'll just be
Just cooking them right
they'll
there.
just be skinned and cooked and everything right then and there. He'll take the hides though.
Yeah, it's part of his trade.
So you return back to the wagon unsuccessful.
yeah,
Uh,
that's okay.
the lie doesn't really blame Gordon for not being able to find these like doors and forests. It was a long shot anyway, but I appreciate you gave it your best shot. And now I don't have to pay you a bonus. So win-win.
Amen.
Bade will say, thing was probably bad luck anyway. Just have a beer, take your mind off of things. You did your best. Acrony has forgotten about the whole thing. He's just happy about the beer that
How's Bade doing?
he looks like he's having a good time. He's as soon as people started circling up the wagons, he started having his other guards help him unload one of his casks of beer and put the spigot in it, and is starting to sell drinks to the other members of the caravan.
I'll walk up to him and all tired and out of breath, and all sweaty and gross. I'll go. I'll have that elven wine now. It was a good track.
He'll grin at you and say, I already had the bottle I gave you earlier, but fortunately I got plenty more where that came from. He'll pull out another one and he'll give it to you and say, you're going to have to pay for all the other ones, but that's your welcome aboard gift.
I appreciate it. And I'll go sit down and enjoy my half elven wine.
All right. And since this is the end of week 1, we'll have and there's going to be a break day the next day to let the animals rest. We'll have a nightly roundabout with the other members of the caravan. In addition to the people you already know, the other people you sit around with there's a female moon elf merchant who seems to be exact opposite of Bade. She's impatient with people, unlike Bade, but she is much more precise about how people handle their wares and is not doling them out. There's a female shield dwarf guard that is also on Acrony's wagon team. There's a green human who has been traveling independently alongside the wagon.
Say green human.
Yep.
Age?
Her skin, hair, eyes, nails, teeth, everything about her is green.
Oh, her. Okay.
Yep, in color, not in her skills. There's a human merchant who has not said anything during any of these night events. He's just kind of sat around, ate his food in silence, listened in, and gone to bed early. The 2 halflings, Enon Tobun and Lovius Longnose, are there as well, managing many of the animals. There's a male moon elf merchant and who has a mute brother who are hauling exquisite wooden carvings made by the elves of Cormyr. His brother only communicates in sign language, which no one knows, but he's very elegant about his hand movements.
Hmm.
There's another human merchant who is selling calcite silk, and he believes he'll become a rich man in Waterdeep. And there's another human guard, a female human guard, who is pretty excited about the journey. She is green in another sense than the other human lady, in that this is her first time being 2 miles away from her house.
Oh dear.
There's a human merchant who is hauling exotic birds to Waterdeep. His wagon
Oh,
is
boy.
very loud all day long. There's a rock gnome traveler who eats alone and seldom speaks. He was picked up early on and is riding in the back of Bade's wagon. He doesn't say anything except stare into space. There's another human merchant who is hiring crates of expensive, fragile porcelain. And whenever there's a bump in the road, he forces everyone in the caravan behind him to slow down so he can make his horses go at a crawl to go over that bump. There is a human guard who is one of Bade's human guards. He is 7 foot 5 inches and is the tallest human any of you have ever seen. There's a shield dwarf guard who everyone has been warned to steer clear of, because while she's a good fighter, you set her off and she will gut you. And finally, there is a female human teamster who seems to be incredibly skilled at animal handling. But she is quiet and doesn't seem to speak to any of the other humanoids, but seems to have long conversations, at least one-sided ones, with the animals. So any of those people are there to interact with. If you can remember any of that. But for the most part, there are a lot of different NPCs, and they'll all come up and do different things over the course of the journey.
They all sound delightful.
And at some point after the session, I'll do a brief write-up of these NPCs and one-sentence summary of your first impressions of them, so that in case you want to interact with them later on the journey, you can just say, I want to talk to that person.
Because we're going to be stuck with these guys for quite some time now.
3 months,
Quite some time.
My big hope is that the halfling card is destroyed first. Be quite good. Well, I think there's 2 halfling cards. They're both terrible.
And for day 7, when it's resting time for the animals and everyone is kind of fraternizing or hanging out, Corden, you are instructed by Lai as he goes out to. He doesn't really leave his wagon so much. He only does that during the communal evening time.
Mhm.
Try to suss out who the big merchant buyer in Waterdeep might be this year. And when that happens, he makes you stay at the wagon and keep an eye on it. And when he's done with his food, he sends you out over to spend your time at the communal meal time. Otherwise, for the most part, he doesn't really send you out from the wagon and keeps you there to keep an eye on everything. He seems pretty suspicious of the other travelers, always talking about how, you see that one over there, that green human? I bet that she's green because she's green with envy about my money. Keep an eye on her, Corden.
When I get the chance, I spend some time hanging out with the half elf, with his beer cellar, because my God, I need it.
Yep, he is more than happy to sell you at the rate of 5 copper a mug, a glass of some fine dwarven ale that he brought especially for the thirsty dwarves on the road.
Never
What a
thought.
lifesaver.
Never much
And-
thought I'd like a dwarf or an elf rather. But
And he'll wink at you as he pours you a mug and say, "I know that guy's over there. He's a bit of a stick in the mud, but I also know that he's paying for your food and board, so I'll just keep a tab on him."
that draws a chuckle, and I accept his offer. It only seems fair.
Absolutely.
He'll pour himself a glass after pouring you one and hold it up as a cheers to you and say, "Here's to good times on the road."
Well, if you're not, I've got to say you're not so bad. Certainly a lot more personable than the half elf I've been traveling with before now.
He'll smirk and say, "Well, some of us half elves are a bit unpersonable as we're a bit mixed up about who we are and where we are in the world. But as far as I'm concerned, I can't make money if I'm gruff with people, and so it pays to be friendly with everyone."
You've a good head on your shoulders, and perhaps when we get to Waterdeep, I'll treat you to some sort of fine brew you've never had. I'm sure they've got a plenty in a city that big.
And I know a couple of. Then I have know a couple of breweries in Waterdeep you'll be interested in, my good friend. I'll see if I can remember a list of them at some point on this journey, and I'll pass it off.
Hey,
Right now, the only beer I know is the stuff I'm hauling on this way.
good brew is hard enough to come by in these parts, that's for sure. I appreciate your hospitality, but I suppose I must get back. Counting every single gold piece the man has and making sure that not one goes missing, I suppose.
I don't want to lose any of that. He goes on quite the tear. I've seen it. And he'll wave you goodbye and offer you a refill at any time on your employer's salary.
The company store, you might say.
Yes, like the company store.
I do humbly accept.
All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to do on the rest day?
I'll let you go.
No, go ahead.
Go. No.
I was
Insist.
just going to ask what Bait is doing.
For the most part, he's
I assume just hawking his.
just talking
Right.
his wares and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
You also notice that he's also like feeding beer to the horses instead of water, which you find bizarre, but
What?
you don't think that's how that works.
Possibly dangerous. I think I'll kind of go up to him and gently. I say gently, but I'll walk up and go. I don't think horses drink beer.
Now
They
I
ain't
know what I'll
traveling
call
today.
you.
They can have fun with us.
Now I know what I'll call you. Hi, horse.
How'd you know about honkers?
And he'll whisper to you, say, "Besides, it don't matter. These dumb animals don't know what they're drinking. This stuff is poor as donkey piss as far as the beer is concerned."
Jesus.
Well, hopefully, we won't have to get new horses by the end of this.
No, they should last us the whole way.
I certainly
You're
hope so.
drinking the right stuff, it'll fortify him.
I think I just heard a breeze. Oh, down there. There's the dwarf.
You think you're funny, just
I didn't know you were next to me.
think you're awfully funny, just your ears are half pointed.
Hmm.
I'm going to go back and do my job.
All right. What did Capel want to do?
Capel's gonna go over and talk to the lady who talks to animals.
All right. When you go over to her, she speaks pretty quietly. Upon you greeting her, and she'll introduce herself as Werond Terohar.
You don't mind if I sit over here and read, do you?
Not at
Pull
all.
out the Harlequin book.
No, I'm gonna pull out a new book. You see, it's been so loud. I've been sitting next to my wagon master, who is quite the emotive one. I'll just say.
Yes. Yes, I can hear him from way back at the back end of the caravan. He's quite lively though, and his animals seem to like him.
Oh, he's a very kind gentleman, but I do like things a little quieter sometimes. Just enjoy the nice sunshine and pull out a book. With that, I will pull out a book.
I can appreciate the quiet gentleman, and she'll continue to tend to her horses and brush their hair, and she'll whisper to them out of politeness as you hang out over by her reading her book.
I'll just do that for a time, basically. The
All
book
right,
I'm
that
reading
sounds good.
is what is it called? Facing Your Inner Demons.
Oh,
Hmm.
let me see. If she notices what you're reading. Nope, she doesn't.
That's good.
Roll perception check.
Higher than 10.
All right.
Wow.
You hear her kind of singing what sounds like some sort of love song under her breath to the horse about lonely maidens and how they'll find a handsome man in Waterdeep to sweep them off their feet. And it sounds like she's quite the romantic at heart.
While talking to animals.
Yes. Because men are cruel who break and twist the hearts of women. But one day you'll find that true man who will
Uh-oh,
care for you.
girl.
Unlike her.
Uh-oh.
Unlike my ex, Frank.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Frank. Love you,
And
Frank.
you'll-
Need you, Frank.
And you'll hear a snap as she like accidentally breaks in half the brush that she's brushing the horse's hair with.
I think Capel will stay silent during all of this, as he doesn't want to embarrass the lady.
All right. Is there anything Gedwin would like to do?
Did she break that with one hand?
Yes.
Oh dear.
That's hot.
I mean, kind of.
She needs those strong hands if she's gonna manage all these animals by herself.
Yeah. Get her strong hands on me.
Thank you, Seth.
You're welcome.
Do we have Paul? We have a good one?
John, that one's pretty good.
I'm glad you like it.
Nice.
That man is done.
I have never seen a man more done in such a stylish manner of dress. Oh man, it is stinky outside. I'm gonna close the window. Thank you, West Fargo.
What a shit town.
All right.
Just to unnecessarily throw shade on Fargo.
Mm-hmm. If Gedwin doesn't have anything he wants to do, we'll move on to the next week of traveling. For the most part, the journey continues without issue. But on about 4 days into week 2, it seems like one of Bade's horses is starting to tire out a bit.
No way.
You're starting to Ravon, roll a perception check as this horse starts to limp and flag a bit,
Okay.
or animal handling if you prefer.
Actually, I think. There's 2 versus.
The drunken pinto. What do
And you have advantage because you're at the front of the wagon with him.
Drunken pinto or
So that 17 will. Well, that's Capel.
That's Capel, yeah. Okay, wait. Am I? What are the? What are my options?
Animal handling or perception.
Okay, perception might be better.
All right, you got a 15.
Yeah.
I think Corden has a new career as a boss.
Ooh,
Woody Tunes is that?
multi-class. You've noticed that Bade. At first, you thought maybe it was like just his drunkenness that maybe he wasn't paying close attention to handling the animals, but you're starting to think it might be something malicious going on here. You notice that he isn't properly setting up their collars or girths, and they've started to chafe sores in the hides of the horses. He definitely hasn't been feeding them properly. Certainly not. He seems to conveniently forget every morning to feed the animals, only feeding them at night. And when at the end of the day, when they start to ache and get hungry, he's like whipped them or hit them with a switch and yelled at them to hurry up. And as that horse starts to flag, he'll look over and see one of the guards that are riding with Acrony, and he'll yell back at Gedwin and wave him to come forward. You there, Gedwin, come on up. Oh no.
Oh no, Gedwin. Are we about to lose our bard?
Well, I'm assuming he forgot that Gedwin is a man. He's about to sexually harass him.
I don't mean that. I think Paul is actually going to bed now.
I know, I'm fucking... I tried to sleep in today. I got to 6:15 after rolling around for 20 minutes and had to get out of bed because it just wasn't happening.
Mm-hmm. All right. In that case, we'll go for another half hour then.
Okay.
I'm good to keep going.
In that case, we'll flip over to instead of Gedwin being way forward, we'll say Capel is on a horse for some reason and is being way forward. You there, Capel? My horse here.
Sexually harass you.
And Bade will whip the horse that is starting to flag and say, "This useless nag is not the prime stallion that I was promised back in Baldur's Gate. But your horse looks like it's in pretty good shape. I'll buy your horse for 200 gold pieces."
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Well,
I have this
We're
new friend. I
trying.
don't think they'd appreciate that.
How far
you're
away
kind of-
am I from him?
You're sitting right next to him.
Oh, I am. Okay.
You'll say, "Oh, I know you're a good friend with Ravon here. I've seen you chatting at the fireside. Ravon, can you kind of sweet talk him? This is a good 200 gold I'm offering."
Perhaps with that 200 gold, you could find someone who actually cares for these animals.
He'll wave you off, basically saying, "I don't need to care for them. They just need to last me to Waterdeep, and I've had fine horses get me that far before, and sometimes they die on the way, but not too far out, and I can hook up someone else's horses to get me the rest of the way. And by that point, we've run low on stock, and we don't need as many to get me there."
Perhaps the horses would last longer if you didn't beat them into submission and feed them nothing but beer once a night.
No, that couldn't be it.
Well, beer is good for you and me. Probably good for the horses too. This is a good product.
Sir, you should
I
you
don't
should be talking to
remember.
your boss that way.
Are you
Yes,
piece of
yeah.
shit?
Yes, Ravon, I am your employer, and while I appreciate your input on how I handle my wagon train, he suddenly seems to have sobered up pretty quickly. While I appreciate your skills and attentiveness as a bodyguard, I will ask that you refrain from commenting on how I handle my animals.
Yeah, you bitch fucker.
Well, now that I've said that, I will say you're not paying me, and you're killing your horses. If you're not going to care for them, I know someone who would.
Free of charge, perhaps? I would gladly look after the horses.
Oh, I'm not even talking about you again.
Capel, roll persuasion.
You can do it. I believe in you. You have good luck.
Get yeah,
I clicked it. Where'd it go?
best.
There we go.
It takes time. All right.
Wow.
Still not rolling above a 10.
He'll look at Capel and frown a little bit and say, "Well, as long as it doesn't come out of my pocket, it would be a lot easier on me to have someone else take care of my animals. I think I'm doing a fine enough job keeping them going. These are just bad horses, but maybe someone else can make a bad horse a good horse."
I will refer my my new crazy friend who's talking to horses to these horses.
Did you say new crazy friend?
I don't actually say this, but I'm like this is what's the word for?
This is a.
This is not
do
Capel
you, do
talking.
you
This is
actually?
me.
This is
Okay.
a. Do you actually spit on the ground at the Temple of Palor?
Well, I
moment
did do that. That
that
was
we're
actually
having.
that was a thing. That but that was a cultural thing.
Palor.
But no,
Nothing.
I don't remember
nothing
her name.
sticks in my mind more than Russell's reaction to that.
The look on his
Yes.
face.
His eyes were very wide.
It wasn't even a real Temple of Palor. It's a
It
witch's
wasn't.
temple.
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem?
The look on his face was absolutely priceless.
I spat in unholy water. I made it better. Yeah, no.
Oh,
The second I
boy.
get the chance, I'm gonna talk to the buddy, the lady who talks to animals, and see what insights she could tell me about that horse.
All right, and well, you're going to do that now, or are you going to do that at the?
The second I get the chance, I don't know if I can go too far away from my charge, but or
Your
where.
most likely chance would be at the communal meal for
Yeah,
the evening.
probably the communal meal, because I don't even think I know what wagon she's in.
All right. Well, he will, and well, he will say he will take you on take on your recommendation for consideration, and he will go back to yelling at his horse to move along for causing trouble for everyone. And the day will proceed until the evening.
If only I could intimidate this guy.
No, you can't. He's paying you.
Well, it's not that I can't, it's just that my charisma won't allow me to.
So Capel will go and find Warren Toravar, who is the lady who is managing the horses that she saw otherwise. What do you say?
I get the feeling you already know the answer to this, but would you say that what's his name? Bane?
Bade.
Bane's horses?
My horses.
What can you tell me about them? Because I bet you already know.
My horses were molded in the darkness.
Oh my.
She'll give you an angry look when you bring him up and say he treats his horses terribly. I can't stand how he does it. There is a time and place for the whip, but not every minute of every day.
Yeah, he's being truly awful about them.
Is this later on in the day, or am I?
This is
can I be
this is
present?
at night. You can be
Okay.
present if you.
Okay, I'd like to be as a representative from Bade's camp who is concerned. I am a ranger after all.
All right.
Yo, big horse for you.
Okay.
Is there anything we could do for the horses?
Well, they should probably be switched out for others and given proper food and rest, and then whatever horses he does get should be continue to get the right amount of food and water every day. I know that the horses, at least that one horse on the left, Charlie, he can't continue on for too much longer.
Do we even have a guarantee that he won't beat these horses? They aren't his. Perhaps that will persuade him a little, though he might need some reminding.
Well, I have my own animals to take care of, and as much as I'd like to help out with his, I can't neglect my own. But if you have the time this evening, and she'll ask Ravon's name,
Ravon.
Mr. Ravon, I can show you how to properly feed and water and shod the horseshoes if you like.
His name is Mr. Ribbit.
Thank you.
God damn it. I would gladly accept. I have no patience for that, the way that man treats his animals. I would sooner take them out of his care.
And I know, and if you're his bodyguard, then he might allow you to care for the horses in the morning and night, if only so he doesn't have to do it, since he seems to think it's well beneath him, when really we are well beneath these majestic creatures.
I agree.
Yes, I bet you'd like to be beneath that majestic creature.
Why is he still going?
He can't stop, Seth.
These are
It's
all
true.
things
I
that
can't.
these are all things Acrony is actually saying as he overhears this conversation.
Help me! I'm stuck behind.
Oh no.
All right. So, Ravon, you can spend some time to have with her, and then you'll have an advantage on animal handling
Ooh.
next time you make the check.
Oh, okay.
She wants you to handle those animals.
If you made the choice to spend
Jerk 'em off.
most of your nights with her, learning how to handle animals during this trip, you can gain advantage on animal handling as a permanent feature of your character.
Yeah, absolutely. I would gladly do that.
All right. Corden, is there anything you would like to do?
Oh goodness.
This is Leda?
This is
Oh no, this is
Where on Tarrowheart.
okay.
I think I'm gonna ask.
Okay, where? Okay. This is the one that snapped the brush with one
Yeah.
hand.
Yes.
Yeah, don't piss her off.
Well, that sounds like most of the people in the caravan.
I mean, sure. Except for Bade. I would love to dole out sweet justice on him.
Sadly, he's paying you.
He is.
He's a good person aside from his irresponsibility.
I have a very hard time believing anyone. Just not even as a ranger. If you're mean to animals, you're a piece of shit.
Oh sure, but you're willing to go and hunt down a golden deer. Just
Oh, absolutely. That's for
to
hunting.
Sell out your principles.
That's for
The
hunting.
golden deer meat, you get +1 to a random stat permanently.
Oh,
That isn't actually what it. No, that's not actually what
Oh,
it does.
and you guys suck.
It does something, but you just don't get to know what it is.
yeah.
So I can
That's
reuse
okay.
it for something else later.
Oh.
Ooh. I better. Nah, for right now, I think Gordon is unfortunately a little preoccupied with his batshit crazy caravan driver. Kind of fairly limiting my ability to get away with his.
Is his money talk rubbing off on you?
No, certainly not. His money talk is forcing me to fucking sit around,
Drink excessively.
drink excessively, and not get stolen. I guess.
It was terrible. Today he was talking all about this dream he had the other night where he had a giant money pit and he was swimming through the gold and jumping up and down in it, and he rose above the gold like water and spat out money he had gotten in his mouth. It was a wonderful dream he had.
Oh.
But
Capel
he will
has
talk
so
to you
many
first.
more people to talk to.
Lai will actually talk to Corden and say, so I heard through the grapevine, and I do have an ear for deals. I hear when people are offering money that someone was offering 200 gold for good horses. And that is money I would like to make, for as I can get myself a good horse for only 50 or less in Baldur's Gate or Waterdeep. So, Corden, do you know anything about that? I see you talking with some others when you go out and eat your meals. And do you know who exactly has been offering this prime money for horses?
Isn't it that fat one over there? Yeah, yes, him. The one that's always constantly beating the animals.
Yes, they did seem rough. Horses are a good investment. They're good money. Invest a lot in a horse and keep it prepared, and you'll get more than your investment back. He clearly does not know how to handle his investments, so we're going to make a bargain off of him. So what we're going to do is I want you to go over to his man, that elf, that half human, whatever he is.
I was going to say, I don't think he would know. Ron definitely has his hood up.
No, you'd still say a racist thing at you, like, oh,
He
it's-
can,
Whatever
sure.
he is.
the guy looks
non-dwarf.
Asian.
That thing.
That not dwarf.
Not
And you go to him and say, and so he can relay to that man Bade that I am willing to take him up on his offer. We will swap out our horses for his. At the end of the week, I still want us to. I don't want to swap them out right away. I'd like us to get to the end of the week, so they'll have a day to rest, and we can give them good food, good water, and get them ready for a day. And our load our one wagon of oils is lighter than his multi-tiered wagon hitch of heavy liquids.
Aye,
So you go talk to
Point.
that his guard of his, and we'll do negotiations once he knows that we're interested, so that he doesn't make a deal with anyone else. That's good money in our pockets at the end of the week. You can have 10% commission on this, Corden, if you do it right.
All right. Well then, sure. Yeah, might as well. I will approach. I'll approach Ravan the next time. I'm to
And what do
escape.
you need, dwarf?
Well, I hear your boss is beating horses, slowing them down, and the guy over here, he's got a proposal for you. He's got
No deal. Sorry,
listen.
continue.
Okay, why don't you clean the earwax out of those pointy ears of yours? We've got the gold. Or rather, we've got the horses for him if he's got the gold. And just to sweeten the deal for you, we'll make sure that the horses we get are well taken care of.
Very well.
You know they're coming. You know they're coming to you. You know the horses we've got are coming to you fresh. You
I'll
can come
keep
over
it.
and take care of the ones we get anytime.
And
Not
I will
much.
keep a very good eye on them.
I do it myself, but can't say that taking care of horses is exactly in my experience.
Fair enough. Dwarves don't really ride horses, do they?
We try to avoid it at all costs.
Can't really get a leg up, I'd assume.
That's not funny.
Very well. We'll make the switch then.
Go talk to your boss. Tell him he'll meet up with mine. They'll hash things out.
Very well. I will go to Bade and relay this news. Hopefully Bade is sober enough to remember.
He seems pretty jovial, almost like he's forgotten the earlier tension from
Shocking.
this morning. Like, oh, he'll take up my offer. Well, we could use some good new horses. I almost feel bad conning the dwarf on these two bad ones, giving them back, but 200 gold and giving them half a horse, I think that's good for him and good for us. And I know that dwarf, he only buys quality, so I'm sure that this dwarf will give us good horses and they'll last us to Waterdeep. And he'll look at you and you, Ravan, and say, and I understand that you will take over management of the horses for the trip, which means you will be responsible for them.
That's correct. You need not raise a finger.
I like it. Taking on extra responsibility shows good initiative. You're going to get far in this world, young Ravan. And he'll slap you on the back and chuckle.
Thank you. If you know how like Ravana's an antisocial weirdo who's like always unnaturally stiff.
Yep.
Imagine him getting even stiffer when he gets slapped on the back. And
Like he freezes up and is like, I hate this.
I hate this man. Yes.
It's true. He's a glutton for punishment. Gets him rock hard.
Why, Seth?
What
Why?
is happening?
That's right. So Ravon did get rock hard because he got so stiff when he got slapped on the back.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right. So next day comes around. Ravon, you can
Yes.
do some care for the animals.
Absolutely.
You're just doing basic care, so you don't need to roll animal handling. Just
Okay.
feeding them water and food in the morning is more than they've gotten every other day of this trip.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, and is oh no, that's at night. She's kind of teaching me
She teaching you on
more
the break
subtle
times.
things on like break time, like
Yep.
nights. Okay.
and they seem like they're pretty happy, especially the horse that we're on named Charlie, or the horse that told her its name was Charlie. You're not quite sure. She's a bit odd, but
She doesn't talk about her ex-boyfriend, does she?
not while she's training the horses. But
Okay.
you think there's something.
We've
going
all
on there.
been there when a coworker overshares.
Yes,
Judy.
there might be some of that as the trip goes on, but so especially that one horse Charlie like inhales the water. You don't
Oh.
know if anything should be drinking water that quickly, but it definitely needed it. So the day goes by without incident, and then on day 6, the day before the break day, it's noon. It's hot out. You're in the open plains when the horse Charlie just kind of its knees buckle and collapse in the middle of the road. And Bate goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And his wagon stops as the horse collapses, and the other wagons behind him get hold up. And he's like, "Get up, horse!" And he'll pull out his whip and whip it a few times that it's on the ground. I said, "Get up!" And he'll get down from his seat, and he'll get down, and he'll start kicking the horse in the face.
Okay, all right.
I
Ravon
got
goes
time
over.
for lazy animals.
No, I go over and I grab him. I go, remember, I take care of the horses. You, I'll kind of tighten my grip on his shoulder a little bit.
Wow.
Need not lift a finger.
Roll intimidate.
Oh boy. Here we go. This is when everything.
Oh, this is when everything works. Yes. Great success.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
His eyes will go a little wide, and he'll look down at the horse, and he'll say, "Well, this one horse will get us through the rest of the day." And he will cut the other horse. He'll cut the horse that collapsed loose,
Hmm.
and he'll have his other handyman drag it to the side of the road and climb back onto the wagon stall and say, "Well, that horse is a lazy good for nothing. It can lie there until it's ready to move on." And then he'll clack the reins and start having his one remaining pull horse continue pulling the wagon.
Is Warren around? Kind of like get her
you know
attention or something.
from her that she brings up the rear of the caravan.
Okay, so she'll probably be along.
She'll be along.
Okay. Imagine being so bad that you lose to Ravon in intimidation.
He rolled a 2.
He's very drunk.
Wow.
And Capel, your wagon is right behind Bates, so you see this happen. You
Yes.
see Ravon step in and kind of say some words to him, and he stops beating the horse, and the horse gets pulled to the side of the road and left there, breathing heavily, and Ravon and Bade and his party move on.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah, he's
suppose
gonna-
I,
he's
I
gonna leave
suppose
the
I
horse
have
there.
to.
He's gonna leave it there.
I
Yeah.
suppose I can't really leave him either.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Capella is-
Capel,
I'll give the horse a couple friendly pats and then
roll
say some.
roll medicine
Ooh, okay.
or animal handling, your choice.
Medicine's probably. There we go.
You're pretty sure that if the horse is gonna die on the road if it's left there.
Okay.
If no one does anything for it.
Okay. How far behind is Warren?
don't you have cure spells?
Oh, I do actually. Yeah,
Magic exists.
it does. I forget that I'm playing a character with. Yeah.
Capel's gonna shout, "Hey Ranger, where are your cure spells?"
Shut up, human fighter, whatever you are.
Well, the human's also questionable.
Oh, yeah. Well,
That's right. He might be half orc, half elf.
very true. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds on this poor horse. What the hell are my spells? Did they even pop up on here? I don't think they do.
Can we get some temporary hit points with Goodberry?
Bad spell.
No.
I mean,
False life is a better spell.
It is, but Goodberry.
Wendy was for. Is roll 20 slow for you guys tonight?
No.
I had a
The dice rolling's been a bit, but it's
It,
not.
Yeah,
it took forever for me to log in. Like I opened it up and I clicked the login and it just sat there loading for quite a
logging
while.
in took a while, but I haven't had any dice issues.
Okay.
I don't think I ever logged
Uh,
out.
All right, the horse gets some hit points back. It turns out getting the whipped does actually take something out of you, especially
Shocking.
with how harsh bait is. So the horse's breathing lightens up, and you can tell right now it's just resting. It will be fine,
Okay.
and presumably, and you can trust that Weron will be able to quickly
Yeah.
get up and rejoin the caravan.
I'll give Charlie a couple more pats and some little you know words of encouragement. I don't know. Little soothing is the word I'm looking for.
Your zero
Some
charisma
soothing
is
words.
coming through, Ravon.
I'm I have 10 charisma.
But yeah, you also notice that while he doesn't stop using the whip during the rest of the day, he uses it much less frequently than he has.
Good.
For the rest of the day. And when you get to the night, Warren will have the extra horse and she'll bring it over to you and say, I do not trust that man with any more of the animals. Keep Charlie away from him.
I agree. That man is cruel beyond measure.
I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna put in a good word for Ravon. Tell Warren about the whole situation as I saw it.
All right. Would you like to roll are trying to persuade her of anything?
Yes,
All right, roll persuade.
I'm trying to wingman my pal.
Oh no. You see that antisocial guy over there? Trust me, hot stuff.
Ravon, can you neigh for me like a horse?
Ugh. Nay.
None of this is good.
Oh
Alright,
boy.
so
Too bad you didn't.
Okay. Capel will relay the day's events to Warrington, talk about how he stepped in and stood up for the horse, and talked down his employer, and she'll look very impressed. Say, "Oh, I'm glad to hear that you'll stick up for the animals, Mr. Ravan. It's appreciated."
It's only natural. I'm a ranger. I respect all animals.
And it looks like that Lai and Bade are reaching some sort of arrangement on trading the animals, and there'll be an exchange of money, and Bade will unhitch his other horse, which looks pretty relieved to not be with him anymore, and Lai will hand over his horses to Bade, and money will change hands, and Corden will get a 40 gold commission on the whole thing.
Attaboy.
This is your first step to being a proper rich dwarf.
This is not the first 40 gold he's ever seen.
I understand that what you do is a lot of this goes to the church, and I respect that. But it does not help to squirrel some away for yourself in case of a rainy day. And he will take the weaker horses away, and it looks like he will do pretty good care of them, making sure they're getting extra feed and water.
Heck yeah.
And Ravan is in charge of the new fresh horses from Lai, so they should be in good shape, and it seems as though Ravan may have talked down Bade enough that he will be less harsh on the horses during the day as well.
Excellent.
Everyone for their roles in this can get 300 experience points for resolving the situation in a good way.
Total should be 45.50. Unless we got anything else.
Yeah,
that
that's
I didn't
what I'm at
get.
too.
Okay.
And at the end of week 2 of caravanning, that's probably where we'll call it for the night.
All right.
Next session, there will probably be caravan combat as different things try to attack the caravan.
Excellent. It was a pretty good session overall.
We making some money moves, boys.
You
need
say
40
we.
gold. Okay.
We
Money
make
moves.
money moves.
Lady moves. Wingman moves. Booze moves.
Booze moves.
I will take it.
Sven looks out for his, or Capel looks out for his friends. Sven doesn't do anything. Sven's a dick.
Yeah. Sven would probably be like, "Oh, that ranger, he did some mean stuff to that horse. You should go out with me."
He was the one who left outside of the road and kicked.
That guy is really mean to me too. He's so rude to me, you wouldn't believe. Well, suddenly I don't get a permanent animal handling.
No.
Oh boy.
That's cute.
I'm just excited. I don't know who I'm going to talk to next.
I gotta say, I did not expect the sudden.
Yeah, no, that's me.
That was a real mood whiplash. You're just like,
I mean, it
this.
started out with him not feeding the animals before he left for the day
Yeah,
at the start of the journey.
and him just like, feed him beer, and I was like, okay, well, he's just a weirdo.
Yeah.
And then yeah, he starts actually abusing them, and you're like, oh, okay, this is who I'm working for right now. Oh,
There was
That's like
setup and payoff. It was amazing.
it's like a ranger's worst nightmare.
No, I think your
Good
worst
thing you're
nightmare
on
was
Druid, or you'd
your
have
pal
killed him.
showing up and saying, "Hey, you can't say anything. He's your boss."
Oh, that was I can't. That was legitimately one of the funniest things. That was pretty great. Great in the sense that that was a huge dick move, but I, the player, found it very funny.
I'm getting ready for some really fun antics. I think there's going to be
Okay.
some really interesting things happening in this little wagon ride.
Heck yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there were really a lot of NPCs today, though.
Yeah, I plan on
Holy
talking
moly.
to a majority of them.
Yeah,
As
I'm
many as I
gonna need
can.
that list.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind talking. Well, maybe not to the dwarf, because depending. I don't really have a
Alright.
reason to talk to him aside from. Oh, thank you for the horses.
You want to talk to Light?
Only if I
Absolutely.
have to. I mean, Ravon doesn't really want to talk to many people at all.
I want Gedwin to talk to Lai. I am a noble of Waterdeep. Oh, you
Well,
must have
he
lots of money.
He would probably rip him off as best he could.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like the only people Ron really talks to in the wagon ride, it would be Bade and
Your new girlfriend.
Werond. Werond? How is that
Werewolf.
name?
It's her brief description is in the gallery right now. Since you guys spent time with her, she gets a longer summary. But I don't know how you say that. I've been saying Werend.
Werond. It must be Werond. Like Heron?
I think it's where in the world is Carmen Sandiego.
Where in the world is Werend Torahar?
Yeah, where?
Yeah, the other
She's-
events that go on should be fun.
She's got to be a druid or something.
She's just a crazy lady who can't talk to people because people hurt her, and now she talks to animals because animals can't hurt her because they can't talk.
Oh no, she's Marianne.
Yes.
Oh, goodbye, Alex.
Oh,
Where'd Alex go?
Just completely in or out like every 90 minutes for whatever reason. Mobile Discord might have a timeout or something.
Oh yes. Okay, you're using mobile.
Dad, I'm
That's
trying to not use
it's- I've had similar issues with it.
it.
Like you guys have been there when I do that, where I just suddenly
He's you too.
disappear. But
Hey,
No, yeah, that was
there's
a
noise.
great
I'm
session.
weak.
Yeah, a lot of stuff got done, and you're already progressing. And
I did. I also stole a ring successfully.
oh, I forgot you did that.
That was a lot of other big stuff happened. It's hard
There's
to.
going to be
it's-
long-standing repercussions for that.
Yeah, maybe, but
Maybe.
You never know.
I'm guessing that Ravon really doesn't think he's ever going back to Waterdeep in his lifetime. So
Or,
we're not
yeah,
Baldur's Gate.
probably not Baldur's Gate. Yeah, that's kind of where I was like, well, Ravon's probably like, I'm not coming back here, and I'm
That's
certainly
like
not
part of
going to be.
tourism, isn't it? Burglary?
Oh, it's yeah, absolutely. The best thing about being chaotic good is you can just be like, well, the fact that I need this ring to do my duty is,
I'm just going to say that watch out. Sven is neutral.
oh no. I can persuade him.
But Capel's lawful good. Sven he's neutral. You don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not. There's no way I'm telling anybody else that I stole this ring. Like,
Well, we're already on to you. We know.
absolutely, you guys already know. Oh, what a ring you have!
Oh, Henry,
Where did
what
you
happened to
get
Willie?
that?
Where's Willie? You were the last person who definitely wasn't seen with him. No one saw
Henry,
you
where's
with him.
Willie? Also, I'm gonna throw the forge in the river now.
Nice.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, that's where it really went. What a weird coincidence.
Oh. Oh, look! It's Willie's body being sucked into the forge.
How'd that get there? Did he fall in? Did he think there was a
Oh.
dragon?
He must have been trying to fight a dragon.
Oh, him and fighting those dragons. It always works
Oh,
out really
boy.
terribly.
Oh, oh man.
Seth, do you remember Willie?
No, what a card.
What a winner,
doesn't?
right? Remember that time where
slay
you know,
dragons.
someone's brother might have tried to get him in trouble for that, despite how no one saw it? Yeah, that's Ravon now. Ravon is the Patches 2.0. Ravon has stolen something, and we're all onto him. We're gonna send him to the police.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to do a quick check and I was like, if I steal this, I'm not gonna. But no, it's especially since we're Harpers. You know, stealing a ring, protect yourself.
I was so ready for
complete
you to
mission
say
for the greater good.
I'm not gonna use the nat 1. I'm gonna just let this ride. I'm gonna see what happens, and then I'm gonna lose.
Oh, I was like, boy, that's a good roll.
I knew for a
I was
fact.
like, but I was like, it's going to happen though.
Yep.
If I don't use that nat 1, it's probably going to be
Bad news.
curtains.
I-
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking, oh, he probably should have saved it for this intimidate check against his employer.
He wouldn't have been able to. He would have been jailed or dead.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Can't use rolls when you're in prison.
You should know. I mean, Guanum got arrested a couple times. But yeah, no, I'm pretty glad I used that roll for that. I'm also amazed that that Bane lost the intimidation. What a guy! Oh,
He's good. He has a good role for that because he's very charismatic, but he rolled poorly.
oh, that is incredible luck. Thank you, Magic Golden Coin. You worked for me without even knowing. Oh yeah. You probably don't need to talk to the lawyer. Moon Elf may be interesting to talk to. Shield Dwarf may be interesting. That male guy, that male human, is just doesn't talk to people. Might be interesting. I can only imagine him and Ravon talking.
I
Just
think
be a series of grunts.
I'll have to talk to the shield.
I bet.
Is wild shape still a thing?
I think so.
It is. It just has weird rules.
Because
around
Ravon
it
can
where you
use
get-
that to talk to the person who doesn't talk to people.
Yeah, the way wild shape works. is,
Genius.
when
Have
you wild shape as a druid now, you get a separate hit point pool. And
Oh
when
no,
that
he's a
hit point
ranger,
pool-
not a druid. I always
Yeah, I'm a
combine
ranger.
the two
Yeah.
for some reason.
When that hit point pool depletes, you turn back into your normal form, and then you can't wild shape anymore.
yeah.
Whereas before you shared a hit point pool, it's weird now.
It's
But
it's
probably
kind of
better.
it's pretty weird.
It sounds cool.
It makes sense when you actually use it in context.
At some point,
Don't-
I might make a druid.
So there's a one of the hosts or not hosts I should say one of the players in Critical Role. She in the first campaign she's a druid. At one point, to get out of danger, she wild shapes into a freaking goldfish. The problem with that is that she does that over a cliff, and she falls 1,000 feet, and the goldfish has 1 HP. So that 1 HP, she's fine with that. That just sends her back to her actual form. The problem after that is that she took the rest of the falling damage, which was about 300 and some, and she kind of exploded.
That's just really.
Oh yeah. Oh. Like
Oh, hilarious.
she, not the best D&D player I've ever seen. She kind of reminds me of Felicia Day.
I mean,
At least all the
well,
characters that Felicia Day plays in like Supernatural,
oh, sure. I mean,
but like a real life person.
the fun isn't in being good D&D players. It's in
I mean, no, but she. I can't really describe how annoying she is.
You're in a party with Sven Shortsword.
Sven is much funnier.
No, he's super annoying.
I love him.
He
I'm
might be the
sorry.
most annoying.
I unironically think Sven is great.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm going to want to talk to a lot of these people, though. I actually really want to get closer to the smelliest person. What's his name? I had it pulled up.
A stinky boy? Oh, a rock gnome.
Acrony.
a rock
great.
gnome.
Acrony, and
Maybe
his
Capel
second in
Rattle
command
Pig.
as well.
Are rock gnomes the? Oh no, I'm thinking of the.
Yeah, they're
the-
forest gnomes in this version.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of the Sversfneblin. Whatever. The deep gnomes. They were the ones I was thinking of. Ooh. Might have to have a talk with that guy selling exotic birds. Just find a whole caravan full of animal abusers.
Okay. Is that your new mission?
No, but I wouldn't even be surprised.
I guess if you're treating this like a video game, which probably not the best way to do it, you could look at all these people and be like, well, what do I want? Do I want to learn how to handle animals better? I could talk to whoever.
Absolutely.
Do I want an annoying pet bird? I could talk to the bird salesman.
I am. I mean, I'm joking.
I'm pretty curious as to person is
I'm leg-
green. Everything
I'm
they
leg-
are is green.
Green their house.
Exactly. What's going on with that character?
Um,
We'll have to find out more.
I'm pretty interested in the quiet guy too.
You mean Ravon 2.0?
Yes, yeah.
Uh. Glad we had that. Good talk.
Yeah. As you wish. What did he ask you, Ravon?
I want Corin to like bludgeon his employer now, just because like there needs to be more employer violence.
Oh boy. I was very close to like.
Getting fired.
I mean, yeah.
Somehow Gedwin found the best boss.
Yeah, actually. How in the world? I mean, my thing with that too was I was like, I don't want to draw attention to myself, but I need to stop this guy from abusing his horses. I was like, I was thinking about, do I pull out my bow? Do I try just being diplomatic but firm, which is what I was kind of intending on doing. But intimidation check turned out to be the right call.
Well, you rolled low enough on it where it's like, yeah, you were just kind of like, yo, dude, that's not cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That definitely wasn't intended to be. an intimidation check, but I'm glad it was because I think it worked out in my favor.
All right, I think I'm gonna go. I don't know about you guys.
I'm almost done.
Almost
I have
done with
one
what?
person left.
He's
Typing all the
been-
people.
Look at all the NPCs.
Oh, you're posting all of them. Yeah, I've been seeing them slowly coming in. Just gonna look at that later though myself. There's quite a lot. Oh, I love you throwing in my little history with these gnomes or halflings, whatever. It's not very kind.
Oh, Sonny, you gotta learn to pick the hay up properly.
I got the halflings mixed up, and I'm actually asking to handle the horse Betty, right? And then he was terrible at it.
I don't remember.
It was Lavius Longnose who asked him to pick up the goods.
I
and
eventually
he
wrestled the pig. It's
failed.
okay.
You did, and then he got hired by the good boss.
Oh man.
Well, he was a good boss until he told me to feel up people. Which Sven would have been like, "Oh yeah, absolutely," but
What's the
Capel's
name of
not
your
really all
boss
about
again? Joe Biden?
that. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I. Nope. Stepping away from that one.
Oh boy. Oh.
Capel appreciates his personal space, and he appreciates other people's personal space. Sven is a horn dog.
Absolutely. That guy is.
They are different people. Don't compare them.
Is that beeping on my end?
Could be.
There we go. I got them all down.
How many?
I don't know if you guys are hearing that.
I did hear something.
Me.
This is not counting others that can join the caravan along the trip. We already had one join due to rolls at a rock gnome.
How many people are there in total in this? Probably a good.
17.
No, I mean. I meant like total in the caravan.
Total in the caravan, it's over 100.
There's a whole bunch
These
of
are just
families and
like
stuff.
They're families, the occultists as well.
Yeah.
These are just all the notable NPCs.
What if we befriend the
And-
cultists?
They do have things in the module for people who try to do that. Because that is certainly an option.
Absolutely. No, I think I want to get
It
closer to my
carries a-
caravan.
It
next.
carries a risk because you guys have encountered them before.
Yeah.
I think Corden is most likely to be recognized by them, followed by Gedwin.
Well, I think we're not going to approach, probably. But who knows how many sessions this could go for. But yeah, I think my game plan is to get closer to the people in my cart, and then I'm going to talk to more people as well.
Yeah, it's oh jeez. I really like just talking to NPCs this time around. I feel like last campaign we didn't really do too much of this, honestly. This is kind of nice.
We had the important character NPCs that we spent too much time with, and were generally evil.
Well, we were also, I mean, God, when did we started that when we were still in high school? So we've all
Oh yeah.
grown considerably since
John,
then.
remember that one time where you casually said, "Yeah, I know, I'm gonna break the law. This is a good idea. Let's break out a death row inmate. This will be fine."
Hey, that was
Without
my
consulting
heart
the party.
suite. That was my heart suite.
Without consulting, just you suddenly showed up at the end, like, "Hey, this is a wanted criminal."
Yep, I sure did. Oh boy.
Draydrig went off the deep end after that, and we never saw him again.
Yep,
He turned us in, actually. That was really good of him.
that was
was
pretty
great.
fun.
I think 6 more near-death experiences later,
Oh, boy.
Patches almost fulfilled his
His
promise
destiny.
to not killing you.
Oh yeah. And then Pat. I don't think even Pat just had a string of really good ideas.
I don't think they were ideas. I don't think there was any thinking involved. It's one of those. Hey, wouldn't it be funny if?
Oh.
And then
And
but like
then-
he just acted it out instead of like actually
Yes,
just
and-
thinking about it.
He really yes-anded that whole thing.
Yes, and I'm going to
And then
kill
he
the
escapes to
kingdom.
another plane
Yep. Yes, and I escaped to another plane.
while
with
transformed as a bird.
Yes, and I took all the equipment. Oh, I was so. I even better was Russell's triumphant return as crazy lizard man Trask to teleport me and Ayrton away without our equipment, or at least without my equipment.
Probably.
Oh man! And then he left and never to return. He popped in to get us out and throw fireballs
you know
at
what my
me.
end game for Trask was in that campaign?
Oh, what?
So the end game for that was that mind flayer that showed up like twice was like
Oh.
someone who knew that there were bad things going on and wanted to protect the world by reawakening the Tarask, and it turns out
Oh, we cut off at the best part.
in the mortal realms, which is why he had all this weird magic as a lizard person.
You cut out at the
Oh,
best part.
jeez.
Sorry, what was that?
So Tarask was like the Tarask soul without its memories of being a Tarask, so the mind flayer is gonna like reawaken that
Oh.
and bring him to like the Tarask body in the Underdark, and then Trask was gonna be a Tarask. So,
That's absolutely terrifying.
but that never went anywhere, so it didn't happen.
No, that would have been amazing, but
Yeah. Those things, that thing's gotta be like a. I wonder what its CR is.
there were a couple plot resolutions we never really got
it's
to.
CR20.
Oh, it is 20.
That's
Oh,
fine.
God.
But
You killed a Gronum.
we did kill him, and that was the big finale. Really.
Well, we technically killed him.
No, we
and
did
then
kill
there
him.
was, and then
We
Zephyr
trapped him
we
in the
locked
prison
him in
again.
the gig.
and then Zephyr died off screen to a white dragon, which was very satisfying for me personally.
Absolutely. And then we killed the White Dragon.
Oh man.
We also killed
You-
Zegig.
What were the end games for all the characters now that the campaign's over?
End game for Henry's character was I think it was pretty much already known that Mimaeus was like the guy who was like training him to be like a hyper assassin. And kinda
Yeah.
fucked him over as a child too. So
Yeah.
his like it was just gonna be a personal resolution to have him killed off.
Hmm.
Abigail was gonna be sacrificed
Oh,
at an altar deep underground in some sort of bizarre evil ritual to bring the beholder god from the outer realms into the material plane. That was going to be like a level 18, 19 thing where you don't necessarily defeat it. You basically like it takes time for something like that
Yeah.
to come through, where you basically just push it back.
yeah. Kind of like sending a demon back to their own plane.
Yeah, and
You don't
there's gonna
really
be-
kill it.
And on top of that, there's going to be another fight at that point.
But who's
where
going to
Mamaeus-
sacrifice her? Mamaeus?
Mamaeus, yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
Moslog.
No, it was going to be Mamaeus because that's to be a blood relative.
Ooh.
Doing the sacrifice to make it personal.
I think that's what.
Moslog wanted to kill her, so that didn't happen.
Okay.
Uh,
Patches had a feeling that like he needed royal blood. He needed either Ayrton or Abigail, and he wanted to make sure both of them were out of the picture.
Moslog wanted to kill Ayrton because he's a sadistic asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Beholder got, and Moslog is a demon worshiper. Beholders aren't that, so if anything, he would have sacrificed Ayrton to make like demons come through, and he had basically succeeded at that. So he was kind of happy with the status quo, as it were. He was kind of working with Vecna to make things happen. Like, hey, Vecna, open these demon portals for me, and I'll help you get free, and there will be a unity thing. I think it wouldn't have ended well for Moslog because Vecna has very, very vivid memories of his second in command, Kaz, who was also an elf, fucking him over. But that was the idea there because Elf World had been taken over by demons, so Moslog was already pretty happy with how things were. The Beholder God coming through would have ruined that, so he wanted Abigail so he could kill her to prevent Mamaeus from doing what he wanted to do. And at that final fight with Mamaeus and the God, there also would have been fighting Mamaeus' personal demon assassin again. At the last time that happened, he and Patches actually couldn't hurt each other
Oh.
because their respective 2 hits were low enough to their relative ACs,
Which were disgustingly high.
So-
Yeah.
which was very funny to me.
I was also immune to poison for the one crit he got on me.
So,
Oh, it's pretty funny.
and for Talon, his resolution would have been he would have basically been put in charge of Athkatla and driven out Kuradil
Mm.
and like that awful lady wife of his. Whose name I forget.
Aaron.
No, not Aaron.
Oh.
Kuradil's awful.
Oh,
lady
current
wife.
deals. Oh, okay. I definitely thought you were talking about Aaron and her bald, horrible, shriveled.
No, you would
No,
have taken
she's
care of her
fine.
for the rest of her short life.
Yeah, she's fine now. There was like basically she had a redemption thing where she went from Blackguard to just like paladin without class abilities
Okay.
effectively. So she was a Blackguard, is not anymore. And they probably could have lived a happy life with Talon in charge and her doing a path to redemption.
Would
And
she have
probably-
even
and would-
recovered from her state? How do you even recover
yeah,
from
she
that?
could have. You had enough powerful magic friends at that point that you could that when the adventure
Gregorius
they
uses a
would have been
wish.
able to. Yeah, Gregorius could
Oh,
have probably
sure,
done
sure.
something like that. You're friends with that lizard clan who have like their tower. They probably could have undone any curse she had on her.
Yeah.
So and it would have been presumably satisfying for Talon personally to finally like be done with beholders by repelling their god
Yeah.
at the end of it and killing beholders in the process.
Yeah.
To start with that time, the cleric NPC way back in the caves of chaos like had his head pop off and become a baby beholder.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember that. I still have his him written down on my character sheet somewhere, like near the bottom.
Yeah, so that would have been that. With basically when you beat that Vecna thing that you got close to but never happened,
Mhm.
that like immediately shuts all the demon portals because they're only open because of Vecna's because of his prison weakening, being able to directly exert influence on the material plane. So being him makes
Right.
those close up, and because you have powerful wizard friends and Ayrton was making friends with the dragons, there would have been a final battle against a dragon zombie of her bronze dragon friend that she made, but because she'd made friends with other
Oh,
dragons by that
yeah.
point, that would have been the final battle with like maybe a couple of demons in that area. But then at that point, wizards come in, the weird, like competent guerrilla fighter people from Zephyr's hometown would have come in.
Oh yeah. What was Zephyr again?
you-
Favorite soul?
Yeah.
No.
You guys,
wait.
that favorite Dredrig is a favorite soul.
No, Dredrig was just
No. He was just a fighter.
a
wasn't
fighter
he?
rogue.
He was a fighter
Hmm.
rogue, but he
Yeah.
ended up getting there's a
He was like a
Custom
champion,
class?
wasn't he?
yeah, there's a custom class called Chosen One, and he was
Ooh.
that. But he died.
He sure did.
So that would have happened there. The guerrilla fighters were all that town was also where Abigail was being protected, far away from everyone.
We visited there briefly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly to get her. So that would have happened there.
Was that the succubus cows?
No, that was
No,
separate.
that was
separate.
outside of. That was you, everyone
That was
splitting
just-
up after leaving the cat.
Yeah, yeah.
Where the
Oh,
teleporting
that-
went wrong.
Yeah, I will never forget
Oh, that
that.
was amazing. I messed up 3 rolls.
That was so great.
It was like a
Why?
3 would succeed, and I got 3 2s.
For God's sake, please go in the barn and look at my cows.
The other thing that would have happened is because you guys did actually somehow did clear out the whole Junktown module and got that flying ship that could shoot lightning,
Oh
And-
yeah.
and you cleared out and because you guys actually made an ally of the evil Rakshasa Raoult, who was mostly half insane instead of evil.
Oh, I remember
He-
him.
He would have yeah, I don't remember who got like his boon or medallion or whatever, but
I
I
want to say it was
think-
Seth.
yeah.
I think
Was
Seth's
it?
character became Raoult.
Yeah, so
Who?
the way
Wait.
that thing worked is
Seth's-
it let Raoult go channel, basically take over your body for short periods. You would be revived to half your health, and the amulet would
Ooh.
crumble. And Raoult would lose one of his 9 lives that Rakshasa have because they're cat people.
was Okay, so I forget the dwarf.
I did-
that's that.
Unfortunately, I didn't really
The
have
racist.
I didn't really have any final things planned for Seth's characters because bad things kept happening to them, which was unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh,
No, it was very funny.
Some,
I've been
some
stuck.
self-inflicted, others not.
You took the good helmet,
I think I had plans to bring your
Gemblick.
not I had plans to bring
The
Gemblick
dwarf.
back, but also your gnome,
Oh,
whose
the
name I
no.
forget.
You did bring him back. He was an
that's
NPC.
right.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, I did bring him back. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. I couldn't remember. Tybalt.
Tybalt, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I was like, who was Seth's third
We
character?
met him in Demon Elf Village. He was captured. We rescued him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He was at the demon slave auction.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So I don't remember the dwarf's name though.
He helped you out.
I love how
Nori.
corrupted the world got
Nori. Yeah, Nori.
by the
I
end
like
of that
I like
campaign.
Nori a lot. I was sad when he flew himself into the soul
It
vessel.
was a little weird.
That was pretty funny.
But otherwise, the what is it? The doppelganger party that had like a Guy Dubois in it.
Oh yeah.
There was going to be a situation where it was basically going to be they're in a bad spot, you can save them or like let them get fucked up. But and I don't know how that would have gone, honestly. But
Well, I was definitely still trying to be a good paladin, so I probably would have stepped in. But
I wouldn't have.
yeah,
and then they would have been allies in the last fight against Mamaeus and the guy coming through. Basically, depending on things that happened, you would have different ally groups that would come through and send help for the.
yeah, because we had the Alwyn to
final
call
fight?
on.
They would have been them. It would have been there would have been some like a platoon of soldiers from like that fortress. At the
Yeah,
very beginning of the game. There would
we
have
probably
been-
could have. I mean, we could have had Dredrig.
Yeah, if
God
Draydrig
King
was in
Draydrig.
charge, if God King Draydrig was there, you would have had
A
like some
dragon.
of his army or a dragon or something to help you fight it. Because you free Elf
Oh.
Village, you get some elves to help you out with that.
Yeah.
If since Pat's character Zephyr died and was an asshole, you don't get guerrilla fighters from his town.
Yeah.
You get some because Raoult hasn't necessarily changed what Gizmo was doing with like the goop and everything. You get like oozes that help you,
Okay.
and slime golems and whatnot to help you out.
Ooh.
So
Who was
just a bunch
that?
of stuff like that.
Who was
and
that?
so
The big necromancer guy, or whatever he was, the high priest guy in that undead room.
Who was that? That was just Vecna's high priest. I don't think you've
Okay.
ever encountered him before.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, he was just like a big time.
Wasn't he like
priest that-
Pat's villain guy though? Wisdomancer or something?
Wisdomancer? Yeah,
Oh,
he was Zephyr's
Wisdomancer,
villain. You guys shot him
yeah.
in the head through glass, and he died.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we
I think
did.
I had
Oh, boy.
epic. It was the last thing I got to do with that gun before I left it in that room.
That's right. You shot him with a gun, and he died. That was great. But yeah, otherwise, the two things that I had planned after the Vecna Temple, there would have been a trip to Zephyr Solstice, which was like a portal. Like, remember in the middle of the map, there's like a weird, chaotic magic pit or something.
Yeah.
I would have gone to there, and that would have been a dungeon. And after that, maybe some minor loose ends, and then you would have gone into the bowels of Granorg to do the big Mameus fight thing. Because you kill Vecna, portals close, you team up with some people to go get rid of the rest of the demons in Elfland. You go into Zephyr Solstice. You get something called like the prismatic tube or something, and that creates like a portal bridge because there was a barrier around Granorg that couldn't be penetrated that would let you get into there, and then you could have gone from there into the final battle.
Man. What about Ayrton?
Her resolution was killing Moslog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was kind of the
Yeah.
big moment. Very satisfying end for him.
There's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be a thing I think where I was going to where there's the opportunity there for Ayrton to do like a charm animal on the dinosaurs and have them eat Moslog, but that didn't happen.
I mean,
So, yeah,
this
I
new
think
campaign is actually, it's been going for a while now too. Actually,
Well,
Yeah.
that one's just been delayed because we just haven't. I just haven't scheduled anything. So, but now I can be more consistent with how I'm doing stuff because the times are what they are.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
then,
can.
Well, I mean,
can
also
do
when
it.
we I think when we first started this, Paul was also like super busy all the time, and
Yeah, I
then
think that was
he
part of it
had
too,
a
actually.
baby on the way, and now he has an actual baby.
Mhm.
thing ain't a baby. It was standing today.
Oh,
Wow.
It was walking around. Well, I'm gonna call it walking, but it was like shuffling its feet really, really, really slowly.
Paul's baby is walking now.
It got from point A to point B. It just took a year.
It takes a year for it to get from point A to point B or an A, but it gets there. So anyway, that's a thing. But yeah, otherwise, I think this campaign is going overall smoother and is slightly more cohesive. I need to make sure that Blue Dragon mirror that Corden has starts rattling soon because you haven't updated her on anything.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
wondering
yeah.
about that. I was wondering what we were
I
going to tell
forgot
her
about jeez.
about becoming Harper's, because I'm sure that would have thrilled her.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as far as you're aware, her main interests are the actions of the Cult of the Dragon, like everyone else. So
Yeah. Probably don't have to tell her all that stuff.
yeah, her motivation is more like my spot in the world is pretty good. I have my corner that I've carved out for myself, where I'm in charge. That changes if Tiamat comes around.
I do think there's a
Because
lot
Tiamat's
less
the big dog.
infighting in this campaign too with our our characters.
Part of it too that I think has made this easier for me to run personally is that there are only 4 characters for me to worry about.
Instead of 7.
Yeah.
Yep, instead of 7 and running sessions where not everyone is there, so not everyone is always
Yeah.
up to speed on what's happening. So this has been better where I try to make it keep it relatively strict that everyone's here when things are happening, with exceptions for Paul because he has more stuff going on than everyone else.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh,
for the
so
most part,
Henry,
when he's here for like over half the session. So
does he know what he's gonna do, being that he's not working in the calf anymore?
Oh, he's been applying everywhere. You know how it goes. I think things will make a lot more sense when the lockdown's over and whatever.
people will be looking to hire when the lockdown
Unless they extend it or what have you.
Yeah.
Anthony thinks they're going to extend it. I'm not sure.
I think it's going to go away in June and it's going to come back in the fall when it researches because it sounds like right now it does actually sound like, from what I understand, the summer will actually stop the virus from spreading.
Yeah.
Then
it-
in the fall when it gets colder and people are indoors. But
Well, it'll kind of be typical respiratory virus like the flu is their prediction
I should make a new meme for next
in terms of the cyclical nature of it.
Yeah. It's I had another disheartening conversation, this time with my mom, who thinks they are overreacting on the shutdown and that they should let people go back to work.
No, I mean